What up, fam? Welcome in. This is A2D Wednesday nights. Make sure you hit the like, make sure you hit the subscribe, and come talk some Sixers, Lakers live reactions with us. Giddy up.
Let's go. This ain't the fuck night. Oh, this game can heat stink.
Oh shit!
It's gone.
Mannery here. You're listening to A2D Radio, real sports talk radio for the fans, by the fans, no agenda. These guys are the best in the business. Hashtag it. No notes.
Welcome in, everybody. This is A2D Wednesday nights, only on A2D Radio. Every Wednesday, we are brought to you by BetUS, and BetUS is a leading online sportsbook that has been in the market for over 25 years. You can bet anywhere in the U.S. on everything. Use the link pinned right in our comment section over on YouTube, right in our description on Facebook. You use that link, you get 125% sign-up bonus. Go use the link, win some money, all right? And 125% sign-up bonus, no-brainer. Go dabble for a minute. Georges for three. 30-27 here. We'll circle around the NBA as the show goes on. Jam-packed house for you again. Frank Vespi, who will be leading the game show for members only very shortly. It's going to put that pressure on him right there. Dave Moss, Money Pot Podcast. Catch him every Sunday morning on A2D. Winning you some money. And if you're an A2D member, winning you money there as well. So become a member. $9.99 a month. It's right in our description. You can click on it, go down, and become a goddamn member. Greg Mwakovic, rooting for his Sixers loss tonight, as well as Ralph Del Vecchio, our Lakers fan, and somehow wearing a Phillies shirt. And
Spring training's here, baby.
Jumping around.
Can't wait.
And his internet froze. He was frozen for a second. Ryan Brodo, I'm Tom Arnone. Let's talk about it. We'll circle around the NBA. Sixers West Coast breakdown. Sixers live reactions is our main topic, so we'll run through this game. 30-27 Lakers at the end of the first quarter. First quarter means nothing in the NBA. We already know this. But we'll get right into our poll question, which is brought to you by Manscaped. And you can get 20% off and free shipping with the code A2D at manscaped.com. Unlock your confidence and always use the right tools for the job with Manscaped. The weed whacker. Get up in the nose, get in the ears. The lawnmower. Trim your boys up. The ball deodorant, you pat it on when you're all done. A little body wash, cologne. Go check out all their products over at Manscaped and get 20% off and free shipping with the code A2D at manscaped.com. Our poll question for tonight, the Sixers will go 3-0 on their West Coast trip. Do you agree or disagree? It starts tonight with the Lakers, then you go to the Clippers, and then you finish off your trip against the Phoenix Suns, who are a damn good basketball team, even without Chris Paul. So only a little 3-game West Coast trip, so not a gauntlet per se. And I'm going to agree that they go 3-0. I mean, obviously it starts tonight. You better win tonight, or obviously you can't go 3-0. But you should beat the Lakers. The Clippers are a well-coached basketball team. I get that. We're better than the Clippers. Let's be real. And then the Suns is that big matchup, right? And that's the one where, you know, some guys might say loss, some guys will say win, and I think that's the difference maker. Realistically, hey, 2-1, good little West Coast trip, right? But we're trying to go 3-0 here. We're trying to play our best basketball going into the postseason. I believe in this team. I know there's probably people in the chat. I haven't even looked at it yet. I'm going to get over to you guys in a minute, but I'm sure there's people in the chat that are already overreacting in the first quarter of a basketball game. That's just a guarantee. But I agree. I think this basketball team's really good, obviously. Some of the bench guys getting a chance the other night to shine, I think is important for the growth of this basketball team, even though we're not running 10-man rotations per se in the playoffs, but to be able to have some trust in Shake to come off the bench and get you a bucket or two, right? Corky, if he finds it, can be an asset to this basketball team. I've talked about it on numerous shows as Corky's been sitting there not playing that, hey, if he's hot, he's an asset. If he's hot and feeling it, there's not a shot he don't like, right? So we saw that the other night, and I think that's big for this basketball team moving forward. I also think Paul Millsap, this is where it becomes on Doc, because Ryan knows this too. I've been talking about getting Millsap some more minutes. I mean, at least he'll give you 4 to 6 points. You'd be like, okay, yeah, Paul played tonight, right? So that kind of stuff's important. But to this poll, I agree. I think they run through this West Coast trip, and the big one's going to be Phoenix. But you do have 3 decent basketball teams that you're playing, or at least 2, because the Clippers aren't scrubs. They can play, and they're well coached. I don't think anybody's came back from more deficits this year than the LA Clippers. I have to look at that, but I'm pretty sure that's factual. I don't think any team has came back from more deficits this year than the Clippers, and that goes to coaching, obviously. And Tyronn Lue has done a tremendous job there with less, right? With less. So little credit there, but I still think we're better. And honestly, without Chris Paul, I think we're better than the Phoenix Suns. I mean, DeAndre Ayton probably gives Joel Embiid his toughest matchup. Period. I'll stand by that. Joel owns Rudy. He owns other big men, right? So we haven't seen him much versus Ayton. Like, that's going to be a fun matchup to watch. So that's the difference maker of that game. And does James Harden make any shots on this trip? That's the other one that is important to them going 3-0. So I think the Sixers go 3-0. Family out there, comment in. Let us know what you think. Let us know. Shake and bake. Let us know. And there's the confidence side of it, right? So family out there, let us know what you think about the poll and comment in. Let us know where you're tuning in from and how excited you are about this Sixers team. So go ahead, boys. I agree.
Go ahead, Ralph.
I disagree, but I think you guys lose against Phoenix on the end of it. I just give you a loss there because how we all know West Coast trips are. You get to that last game and everybody's like, okay, I know I'm going home after this game. And, usually, the last game of the West Coast trip is kind of the hardest one, knowing that you are going back home into your own bed. So I disagree to the poll. I think they go 2-1 on this trip. Maybe a win tonight for the Lakers. We don't know. Obviously, it's really, really early on in the game so far. So I'll go 2-1 on the road trip to finish out the 3-game on the West Coast. So I'll go disagree.
All right.
I disagree also. I will actually, just to make it a little bit different, I'll say, because I don't believe Doc Rivers has beaten the Clippers yet since he's left the Clippers. I think he's winless because I saw some stat like, oh, he talked all about that, with his former team, and he hasn't beat him yet. I'll say that, the Phoenix Suns game seems like the obvious L if there is to be one. Yeah.
Real quick, though, about the Clippers, and that, it's a good point. But don't think that all these, I'll play devil's advocate because I got them going 3-0, right?
Yeah.
So
yeah.
all these players know that.
Oh yeah.
Make sense? So I think like that actually could be a game where maybe they play their best game of this trip because they know like, hey, we let's go win one. Let's go win one for the skipper per se. One of those games.
That's true. I just think it would be very Sixers for us to look at Phoenix because obviously Phoenix is the better team. And they're also the healthier team, even without Chris Paul, than the Clippers. But it would be very Sixers. There you go, Fer. For them to drop the game at the Clippers, have a little 48-hour panic session because we always know the Sixers fan base, we're good for that at least twice a week. And then you come back and have kind of a redemption game and almost a confidence boost and the West Coast trip against a much better team in the Phoenix Suns.
Yeah, you want to be honest about the way Sixers would be is lose tonight and win the next 2. That would
that's like that's unacceptable because we're on the air. Like I can't. That can't happen tonight.
That's how it goes for us. I mean, our bench is giving us production before the other guys go. I mean, we already have 14 points off our bench this game, and I'm a big believer if they score 20, there's not many teams that beat us. But
is it actually 14?
Yeah.
So they already have more than I believe they had. Definitely the last game. where all the starters play. I think they had 13 total, and I think the game before that they had 12. So they've already eclipsed that.
Well, it just shows you when guys are confident.
Mm-hmm.
You know, guys got a little confidence the other night, and you know they're the balls are going down for them. Greg?
Yeah, I mean, I disagree with the poll as well. I got 2 and 1. I just don't have confidence right now that we can roll off 3 straight wins. Wow. Just because of the way James Harden plays on this team right now.
No, I'm just asking.
It's like you talked about like tonight would be the
Stop with the James Harden. If he's not scoring,
I was joking on that one.
I know,
I was completely joking.
No, you weren't joking.
You're not joking. You're not joking.
You're not joking.
Very clear about
No,
it.
I'm not gonna say they're gonna lose a game because of James Harden.
Well, he's a big factor.
No, I know what you're
like
saying.
I'm just saying, like I just don't think that this team right now is playing that we can go win 3 games on a road.
No, I was just asking
Especially
you why.
with one of the best with one of those games being against one of the best teams in the West.
I got
granted, we probably to both of you and Ryan's point, right? That's the game we probably definitely 100% win, right? So we either cough up tonight or the Clippers, right? And it's just what it seems like the Sixers have been doing that recently, right? We start playing well, and then we lose a game you shouldn't lose, but then you also win a game you shouldn't win, right? Like Miami on the back-to-back with nobody playing.
Yeah.
Right, you win that game,
too, right? Regular season NBA as well, right?
Yeah, no, you're absolutely right.
Yeah. What I'll say to you is that like the Harden thing, and not that you don't understand this, but just to the people in the chat, right? Is that even when he's not scoring throughout this little stretch he's had, he's really been impactful though in our offense. You know what I mean? He's really done other things where it's like, okay, you're getting other guys involved, right? You're drawing attention. So there's been things that he has done extremely well, even though the scoring's not there. And I think that's something we should take out of that too, because it's very important, right? Come playoff time as well, right? Like, okay, if you're not scoring at the clip we need you to, are you still getting other guys involved? Are you still getting other guys really great looks? And that's something he's done extremely well. Now, I can't, we're 1 for 6 tonight. I could do without that, but like, guys also going little funks. He's a tremendous scorer. I got to believe that get it out of the way now, right? Get your funk out of the way, because when he first came here, his first 4 games, he played extremely well. So in terms of scoring the basketball, or first 3, whatever it was, right? So I know people out there are like slowly losing confidence in him, and I think it's funny, but the guy's a scorer, and that's what he's going. The Furkan's feeling it now. You know what I mean? And if he's feeling it, this is where he plays. Like Furkan makes a bucket, you stay in the game.
He'll take all of Danny's minutes. He'll take Danny's minutes like that.
Well, George has already hit 3, so he might have busted his nut for the night.
Yeah.
I'm actually going to agree to the poll. I'm looking at their. I'm actually looking at the record. They haven't gone 3-1 on the road or 2-1 on the road since almost November of last year. Every game they've had 3 games on a row, 3-game swings. They swept all 3 games on the road.
Wow, this year.
I'm looking at it. It all started in December. They had the Hawks, Hornets back-to-back. They won all 3. Then they have the Wizards, the Raptors, and the Nets. Won all 3. In January, they had nothing in January. And now in February, they had the Bucks, the Timberwolves, and the Knicks. Swept all 3.
Wow.
The last time they went, they lost the game on the road out of a 3 or 4 game set was back in November when they went 3-1.
You know what's funny?
I'm a better, so I don't have a really a take on it, right? You know what I mean? Like I don't have really a take of why we're going to win and why we're not and stuff like that. But that's the only thing, like real quick off the top of my head, I could find what's the trend, what's the run, and the run is that they're one of the best teams on the road in the NBA, right? They've only lost 11, 10.
Yeah, they have the most road wins in the Eastern Conference. I never looked at the West where they stacked up there. That was another reason why I'm 3-0. They're arguably the best road team in basketball. So,
right, exactly. So they play well on the road. So I don't see why that would change. Obviously, Phoenix is a tough test, but they've beaten a lot of good teams and a lot of the best teams in the league, in the league. So I don't see why that would change. And I think they showed something, right? We, like you said, it's the NBA where teams you don't think are going to win and they just end up winning, beating the the number one team in the conference without your 2 stars was telling. You know what I mean? Last week. So
yeah, Memphis has the most. Real quick, Memphis has the most away wins in basketball. They've also played the most, more than us at least. They're 25-13 on the road, and we are 23-11. So I believe
it's not too far off.
I believe those percentages are like very close.
Yeah, right, they're right there. So what are we, the second best team in the league on the road?
Best in the Eastern Conference. So I mean that's listen, that's so important going into the postseason. I know we're not talking about that right this second, but like being tough on the road and being able to win road games is so fucking important. That's why I don't care what seed I am now. Like in other years, I wanted to be the one, right? We want everything to come through Philly. Now I don't care. I'll go anywhere. I literally will travel anywhere and feel like I can beat you in your building. And the second I start beating you in your building, games 1 and games 2, if I beat you game 1, that series just shifted, right? It just shifted. If I beat you game 2, it just shifted, right? And now I'm coming back to my place. So I think the most important thing is, like, other years we wanted to make sure our game 7s were at home, aged really well this past year, right? Yep. Extremely well, because of what's happened to us in the past on the road and deciding games. This year, you put a couple guns. You can put a super soaker to my head, and I'm saying I want game 7 on the road. I want to play game 7 on the road. I think there's just less pressure. There's less pressure. I think we put so much pressure on our teams anyway that it's funny that our football team played better on the road, right? Our basketball team's now playing better on the road. They couldn't win road games before 2 years ago. Now they're arguably the best road team in basketball. So it's almost like our fault, right? There we go. I'm going to take accountability because we're dogs that we're a great road team. Now, can't wait for Phillies baseball because we're probably going to suck at home and not stop hitting on the road, right? It's just the way it is here. But it is funny that our teams have been playing better on the road. But it's a good sign going into the postseason that we're arguably the best road team in basketball. I think that's going to matter. That's all I had. Sorry.
How good is this Phillies team?
I think they're going to be extremely talented offensively, and it's just going to come down. Toby!
Just got to hit that.
If they can catch the ball enough.
That too, Greg, obviously so important. And, can they outmatch people? Can they find themselves 27 outs, right? Can you find yourself 27 out tonight? You have enough arms for it? I think they do. I think they do this year. So we'll see. We'll have plenty of time to talk about that. Frank?
I disagree to the poll. I think we go 2-1. And when it comes to the best road team this season, Jesse said it. It was the Phoenix Suns, and I just pulled it up on StatMuse. The Suns are 29-6 on the road this season. We are second with 34, but Memphis did play one of the most with 38. They are 25-13. Toronto, they played 39 games. They are 23-16. So I disagree to the poll. I think we're going to go 2-1. I think we're probably going to see one of those games where Joel or James are going to be sitting down for one of these games as we're getting close to the postseason. But I like that we have swept 3-game road trips before early this season. It's a good sign, as Tom said, going into the playoffs. But I don't know, the Phoenix Suns, they are a very good team. It's going to be a challenge, but I think it's going to be an entertaining one. So for now, I'm going to disagree, but they have proved us wrong before. If there's going to be a game where there's no Joel and no James, in Tyrese, I trust. So,
just the ball movement, I trust. I mean, that's great ball movement. That's unselfish basketball.
Yeah.
And if you're going to play unselfish basketball, you're going to find yourself on the winning end a lot.
Yeah.
Right? I think that's the most important thing.
Oh, for sure.
That I'm starting to watch from the basketball team when they move the ball.
Yeah.
And that goes for every team. But when they move the ball, they're in great shape. And I love Harden could have pulled that. Right? That could have been a selfish 3. And that's the sort of the point I was making to Greg earlier is he's getting guys involved, right?
Mm-hmm.
And there's another example of it. Like he could have been selfish and pulled right there, and he didn't. Like even that look right there. It's a great look. I mean, the DeAndre right there for another bucket. It's smart basketball. That's the thing. Exactly. I think that's why I think James Harden can play till he's what's Chris Paul 38, right? I think James Harden because of his game. Like look at Kyle Lowry. Kyle Lowry never had the physical tools, right, to be the most explosive guy on the court. He had to learn how to play basketball, right? James Harden, same thing, had to learn how to play basketball, right? Chris Paul obviously had those skill sets earlier, but because he's such a great distributor, because he's a smart IQ guy, he can play late into his career or late in his life.
Tom, I think you and I talked about this the other night where, you have a guy like Harden and we continuously see pretty much, even when he was playing well in his first 5 games, against this, with the Sixers, that is, and everyone was talking about, why is Harden not shooting a lot? Why is Harden not shooting a lot? And then you look tonight, he's clearly not on as far as his offensive game, especially his perimeter game. But to your point, he's getting other people involved. Do you know how many other people with his resume, with his capabilities on offense, they're not going to look to get other people involved and they're just going to shoot their teams out of games? I'm not saying James hasn't done that. He did that a few nights ago. I think, in one of their losses, I believe it was against the Raptors, he pretty much shot him out. But that was also when Tobias, Joel, and Maxey were all struggling. So he kind of needed to step up. So, everyone can feel how they feel about the guy. That's fine. But, I see all of these, they are overreactions in the comments. Like, oh, he's lazy. Oh, he's fat. Oh, he's selfish. If you watch the game, you would know he's none of these things. Is he on fire offensively? No, but he has the ability to be a facilitator. And he says, you know what? I'm not going to be a me guy like 90% of the fan base and 90% of the basketball world thinks I am. I'm going to get other people involved. And that's all he's done. And he does it better than majority of the league. So I just find all these overreactions comical. Like, why are we focused in on what he's not doing? I get it. We want him to go off for 35. We want him to be Houston. We want him to be Houston Harden.
But that's what we traded for, right?
No, we
you
didn't.
know what I mean? Like,
we traded.
That's what we traded for. We traded for James Harden. We didn't trade for the shell of James Harden. Like, you traded for the James Harden in Houston, right? You traded for James Harden, the top 75 player of all time. You traded for James Harden, the soon to be Hall of Famer, right?
You traded Greg. You traded a $35 million guy who's not going to play this season. You traded a role player and a backup bench. So what did you?
Right, but what I'm saying is you could have gotten other things too.
Where?
You could have gotten another facilitator.
Where
and
all
how?
the teams lined up?
I'm sure there was other deals that were passed upon.
Oh, now you sound like me from December. There were no deals, Greg. You would have been gone.
Hold on. Who would you want over him? That's my question. If
he's just going to be a distributor, we could go through a whole
who? Tell me who distributes the rock that was available that's better than him, and I'll wait. Who demands more attention?
Well, no, I'm not saying anyone's better than him, but this isn't the James Harden we all wanted to trade for.
Girl, I gotta finish it. Who demands as much attention as James Harden that was available? Tyrese Halliburton? Fucking stop watching basketball, okay?
I don't watch basketball.
He doesn't watch.
I'm not talking to you. I'm talking to the chat. Who the hell was available, right, that demands this much attention on the offensive end, right, that was available that's out there? Who? Nobody was. You got a guy that demands double teams, that demands respect. He can shoot 3 for 15, and motherfuckers still got to close out on him. So if you're watching him like I am on a nightly basis, am I happy about the total offensive production? No, I'm not totally happy about it. But is he doing other winning things, IQ-wise, distributing the basketball, rebounding the basketball, things we need that are helping us win basketball games? Absolutely. We are 8-3 since James Harden arrived, right? And I know Ryan commented on Sunday about that, but you break that down to a 60-win team. So everybody calm the fuck down. I care about wins. I don't watch games that give a guy a hand job because he dropped 30. I watch games to say, I got to find a way to win. That's what I watch games for. If you're watching games and worried about, well, this guy isn't living up to production after wins, you're a loser. Not you, Greg, the public. If you watch games and they win a game, and you're out there being critical of the bias, James, buy a fucking clue. Buy a clue. I'm over it. Now, playoff time, if we're losing games, right, and those guys aren't producing, then fine, let's rip away, okay? But if we're winning playoff games, and people out there are complaining, you're not a real fan. You're not a real fan.
Can I add this one thing in here too? Greg, you keep talking about, oh, he's just a distributor. Well, when the guy who we traded, who, by the way, isn't playing, was a distributor, it was a damn love affair for you. So what's the problem? And by the way, this guy is a better distributor than Simmons ever was, by the way. So it was okay for the guy who couldn't have any other offensive capabilities to be a better distributor.
Because he demands.
Because he's a threat on offense. He's an actual threat.
I agree there.
So
it's
it's
not
fine
about
to be
Ben.
a distributor when you're not a threat, but when you are a threat, you can't be a distributor. Like we're not. If we're paying him $54 million in 2 years, yeah, I'll worry about him not scoring 35 a night. But we're not. Everyone talks about playoff Harden is gonna suck. He's averaged in the playoffs, even including the Oklahoma City days when he was just a guy, he's averaged just under 24, like 10 and 8. So if that's like putrid, sign me up for that putrid. Because if he averages that, along with Embiid and whatever Tobias and Maxey give you, you're going to be in a good spot. So like all these narratives, it drives me up a wall because it's not accurate. It's not accurate at all.
I have the best
Weren't
player.
you guys just 7-2 with them in the first 9 games?
8-3.
I'm telling you, Ralph, and you would think it's 3-8.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's just the
Well,
way
that's my
that people
problem
are over. Yeah. Go
It's
ahead,
an
Thomas.
overreaction.
We have the best player in the NBA, hands down. So, James, you just got to be good enough. You just got to distribute well enough. You got to get guys involved. And I think what people are this is what upsets me about this fan base. This guy has a stigma on him that he's a mutt, right? And I'm guilty of it before he came here, right? Because I don't know how many Houston games I've watched in the past, right? So I'm guilty of perception. Well, perception is not always reality when you're not watching consistently. So now I watch him come here, and he could easily be a selfish guy. And what has he done? To me, all he's tried to do is get Joel involved early. That's all he tried to do. He understands it. It's not my team. It's Joel Embiid's team. So I got to feed the big man. I got to make the big man happy. That's a sign of unselfishness. So maybe people out there actually listen to press conferences, right? Actually watch the game. Watch the game. Okay, now you got Bill Simmons trying to act like, oh, well, Embiid never wanted Harden. Get a fucking clue, dude. Get a clue. Because he liked Bradley Beal? Stop it. You can like somebody and want them to get somebody. Maybe he never thought Harden was available like Beal was. I'm tired of these quotes. I'm tired of people shitting on guys, especially after wins. I'm tired of half of this fan base. You're a bunch of losers, right? You're a bunch of clueless losers and overreactors. Shit. Knock it off. All right, go watch cricket then. All right? Go watch something. Go watch cheerleading. You ain't built for this. It's about fucking wins. What about regular season goddamn basketball? Get a clue.
It's either we're at an 11. It's either we're at an 11 like we were hours before the Nets Sixers games to where, oh my God, if we beat the Nets and Simmons, we're never going to win. We're never going to lose a game ever again. Or you have a couple bad losses and the guy shows up at a party because God forbid a guy lives his life outside of his, out of his job. And now it's, oh, he's a bad guy. He's a mutt. Like you said, Tom. Okay. Why did we trade for him?
A planned party, by the way. It's a birthday party that was thrown by one of the owners of his basketball team.
The freaking owner was 2 feet from him. 2 feet from him. In the video.
Now Joel's worried about his back. Awesome.
Yeah, he'll be all right.
Probably because he has to carry Harden, according to this chat.
Yeah.
He's going to be who he is. These guys are who they are. Like, enjoy this. Like, we finally got what we wanted. We finally got a team that can be extremely dangerous in the postseason. We finally have that. Like, people told me the process is a failure now. No. You're all wrong.
He's fine.
We tanked for years for what? 2 stars. 2 stars. That's what we tanked for. We tanked for 2 stars. Guess what we got? 2 stars and an up-and-coming one. So we got more than we asked for, essentially. Jeremiah with the super chat. Appreciate you, my brother. What the fuck is wrong with this fan base? Here, Ralphie and I are LA fans, and y'all crying. Just shut up and give us Harden and take Russ.
Yeah, that's a fair trade.
Whoa, that's a grown-ass man.
I'm sure there'll be people in the chat, Tom, that says, well, Tobias didn't jump high enough.
Yeah.
Greg, you want Russ?
No.
No.
He hates him too.
No.
But like LeBron,
I've always been a Russell fan, but he looks terrible.
he looks terrible. I do love his effort all the time, but
I do,
Yeah.
but he looks terrible, and he's getting old too. That explosion's not as what it used.
Yeah, it's not there no more.
I mean, I thought the same thing about LeBron, but did you just see what he did to Love? Jesus.
yeah, LeBron's a loser.
And he's leading the league in the scoring too.
LeBron's a loser to me.
Yeah, he is a loser.
Yeah, I mean, it's a primetime game, and you're sitting there. You stat stuffed all year. You're at
He's
peace.
leading the league in scoring, by the way. At
You're at
37.
See that, Ralphie?
Throwing out there.
See that,
You're at,
Ralphie?
you're at peace? What are you, a loser? You're at peace for what? What are you at peace for? Your team's 31 and 41. Okay. You lead the league in scoring, so you're at peace? You're at peace? Well, so you're down 30 and you put up numbers. So now we're just accumulating. Now we're becoming an accumulating loser. I got no time for that.
Stop.
Don't tell me you're at peace.
Stop. Tommy,
You're
3 years
Yeah,
ago,
I agree-
Tommy,
I agree with
3 years
Ralphie.
ago,
Stop
you
it.
were fucking about to put flyers everywhere.
3 years ago, Gabe Kapler was the manager of the
Come
Phillies.
on,
A lot
dude.
has changed in 3
Come
years.
on,
Wait, because I'll take LeBron?
give me a break.
Why
dude.
would hold on? Because
I hate people like that.
like what?
If he's not on the
Did I
team,
say I wanna
everybody
take him?
hates him.
He's
Dude.
not on any team. He's not playing right now.
If he's not on your team, you hate him.
Did
Dude.
I say I hate him?
He's the dude. He's the
20
dude.
years. He'd be all right.
Did I say I hate him?
37 years old and leading the league in scoring.
That's
dude.
cute. 31 and 41. Did I
Yep.
say I hate him?
No, I'm not saying you hate him.
No,
I'm
you
just
said
saying people in
like this.
general.
You said people like
I'm just saying people in general. Relax.
in
okay.
general, that's a loser response. That's a loser
What?
response.
Okay. What you when you say you hate him? Because I know you don't hate him.
I don't hate him. I think it's
Well,
a
yeah.
loser move. It's a primetime
Oh,
game, and you're running away from 2 stars against playing against.
Nah,
Right?
give me a
He
break.
running away, bro.
It's an Eastern Conference team.
Okay.
What does that matter? What does that have to do with us? We're going up against an Eastern Conference team.
You're at peace. That's what he said. He's at peace. At what?
If you're at peace, retire, just like AD.
Then it's
Join
called
in retirement.
You should have peace.
He did. He's at peace.
Your guy.
He's at
He's
peace.
at peace.
I don't like that comment because he's at peace because he's leading the league in scoring. Your team stinks. That's not
What
okay.
do you want him to
That's
do?
not leadership.
Play.
I don't want him to
Play.
do. I want him to say he's not at peace. I want him to, if I'm an LA fan,
What does he
I
have
want him
to
to say he's
do?
not at peace.
Play.
What does he have to do in the league?
It's not about what you did before.
It is.
Come on, dude. It's about right now. Stop it.
Oh, come
Stop
on,
it. Because you
dude.
brought your little Disney fucking parade.
Oh, there it is.
Knock
We
it
don't
off.
know if the Sixers went on a
There's
run and
the-
won a
the Disney
championship.
World
You guys
reference.
wouldn't be saying shit.
I was still saying
It
the
is
Disney.
how it is.
Well,
It's because he won in the bubble, and now it doesn't
I'm not
matter
taking
because
away
it's
from
LeBron
it.
James.
I'm telling
right?
you the facts. It
But
was
if Jimmy Butler won, right? Everybody's like, oh, that counts. But
Jimmy
since
wasn't on the
LeBron
team.
won in the bubble,
Jimmy
since
wasn't on the
LeBron
team
won in
during
the
the bubble.
no, I'm
You
saying
make
because
this
we
up,
played
but
the
I
Heat
say
in the
it didn't
finals.
count, Ralph. Did I say it didn't count? I'm just telling you.
You're making it seem like it didn't count because you
I'm
keep
telling
on
you the
saying,
bubble
"Oh,
ring.
it's still a Mickey ring." But we all know for a fact that the Sixers won in the bubble, and you would never be saying that.
saying what?
It is what it is.
Get
I
some
would
heat
never
on
say
that back.
nothing
And
like that. I
because
would claim that ring
LeBron won it,
quick as hell.
it's that.
Who's not claiming it? It was just a bubble. It was a bubble win. It was a bubble
Oh,
win.
now it's a bubble.
It was a bubble win. That's the facts of it. They were in a bubble.
Always has
Okay.
been.
Who's
Ralph.
taking
Okay.
shots?
Ralph.
So if the Sixers went and won the championship, you sitting there saying the same thing?
Yes, it was a
It
bubble.
doesn't matter. It's a bubble. It's a bubble championship.
Ralph, your championship was in ballroom C.A. It was
Okay,
a
I'll
Mickey
still
trophy.
think, is it a championship or not?
Yes.
It was a bubble trophy.
Okay, now can you sit here as a grown ass man and said if the Sixers won it, you would be saying the same thing right now?
That
Here's
didn't
that-
happen.
Exactly.
I
Didn't
can't,
Exactly.
I
Here's-
can't tell you how I reacted.
You're just
It's
moving
just
goalposts.
because LeBron won it, and now everybody's like,
I don't
"Oh,
live in the
it didn't
past,
count.
Ralph.
It didn't count.
Ralph,
It's
I don't
not a
live in the
real ring.
past.
He didn't play
I
in an
don't-
NBA arena. He played
Ralph.
in a ballroom."
Nobody
Ralph.
said-
Well, you
nobody
know
said-
for damn sure, if Jimmy Butler and the Heat won it, it's a whole different story. Do not sit here and
I
lie
don't
to
give a
me.
damn about the Heat.
Do not sit
about
here
the
and
Heat?
lie.
Who
to
the
me.
hell are the Heat? I don't give a damn about the Heat.
No,
Why are
you
the Heat
know for a
involved in
fact.
this?
No, I'm saying in the NBA world, you know for a fact, if Jimmy Butler and the Heat beat us in the finals, there would be no such thing as that. No such thing as
No,
that.
I would have to
As
find.
a
We would have
bubble
to find a
ring,
name
correct?
like Butler
But
Mickey or
since
something.
LeBron
But it's
won
a
it-
Mickey.
But since LeBron won it,
But-
it's a bubble ring, right?
This has nothing to do with LeBron. You're missing the
What do you
point.
mean? We just went on the story about it.
No, because you're moving goalposts here. I'm talking about saying you're at peace. What are you at
What
peace?
what does he have to prove to anybody right now?
So then
Then
retire. then.
retire.
What do you mean?
Retire.
Retire then.
He's 37 years old and leading the league in scoring.
Dude, they
Retire.
stink.
His other counterpart was shooting 9% after the All-Star game from 3, and Russell Westbrook. What do you want him to do? Tom, when he's
Wasn't
putting
he
up,
the one that wanted
listen,
him? Wasn't he the one that
let
wanted
me
him?
finish. Let me finish.
Go ahead.
When he's putting up 51 points a night, and we can't even sneak on a wing because Russell Westbrook is not putting up his part, and Anthony Davis is hurt. What else do you want him to do?
I didn't ask him to
Play.
do anything. I said
Play.
don't.
Then
say
what's
you're
the
at peace.
point?
Play.
Then
We're
why?
missing the point. I can't believe you just.
Maybe he is at peace.
Okay, and I think that's a loser mentality.
How is that a loser mentality?
Yeah, how is that a loser mentality?
How is that a loser mentality?
Nate, you play Division I football, so you're going to tell me because your numbers are good, whatever. You're at peace.
20 years in the fucking league.
No. You never laced up.
Okay,
Ralph, I'm going to talk now. You never laced up.
Go ahead.
What is competitive thing that you ever play? So what?
What do you mean? Oh, because I didn't play college baseball.
Are you trying
at community college? I don't got competitive blood. Come on, Tommy.
I'm asking you. When you lace up, are you at peace? It doesn't matter. Wins and losses don't matter.
But he's got 20 years in the league.
I'm not now if it got fucking 20 years. I'm saying right in this moment,
he is
always trying to win.
Well, what does he have to prove to himself?
It's not about proving. It's about always wanting to win. Come on, are we okay? Are you not
okay? But he's putting up 50 points almost every single game.
What does that matter? I'm telling you, he said he's at peace with losing.
When did he say that piece of losing?
I don't think that's what he meant. I don't think that's what he meant. I actually think he's at peace because he's leaving it all on the court. He's got nothing up to give.
What do you want him to do? He's scoring 50 plus almost every game.
The goal for him is to play with his son. He said that multiple times. He ain't looking for rings.
He's a loser.
You're a loser, dude. You're such a loser.
Have you watched him the first half of basketball games? Have you guys watched it? Have you even watched your own player not get back on defense, not even care out there? And then when they're down 20, he wants to decide to score.
And brings us back and wins games.
31 wins what games? He's at peace with losing.
So we're only talking about this year. I'm talking
about what he just said. You're acting like I'm talking about previous. I'm not taking away his accomplishments. Are you guys okay? He's one of the greatest of all time. Nobody's taking that away from him.
I don't know why. I don't know why you're so up in arms about a guy saying that he's at peace.
Because you should always want to be winning. Even if you're not
taking it, aren't you taking that away from him?
Tom, if you're putting up 50 points a game, right? And Ryan's only shooting the ball 2 for 18 every single game and only has 6 points at the end of every game. How are you feeling, Tommy?
Please give me 3.
I'll just walk back.
Okay, 3 for 19. How are you feeling, Tommy?
I'll just walk back
when you're putting up 50 points.
Bill,
and your other counterpart, every time he steps on the floor,
you ever know.
Wait a minute.
So shut the fuck up.
I'm gonna be a realist. Anthony Davis hasn't been shit since the bubble because it seems like every time he steps on the floor, he gets hurt for us.
We're moving goalposts talking about other players. I don't care. I'm saying you're never at peace with losing. You're never at peace because you're leading the league in scoring. When you lace up, it's always about winning.
So because he said that,
it's not. Then you have a loser mentality.
His competitiveness is gone for you because he said that.
That's what I'm saying. Your question is competitive.
Absolutely.
Because in an interview, he said he's at peace. So
no, I'm watching him. I'm watching him not playing the first half of basketball game.
Yeah.
I'm watching him coach. Are you guys okay?
You reach.
Is that how you
reach for so much stuff?
Is that how you teach a young player how to play the game? You're just sticking up for daddy. I'm telling you the fucking facts. Winners don't go around like that. Winners try to get people around them better. Winners, everybody gravitates to winning.
What do you want him to do when his 2 other counterparts aren't putting up the same shit he is? What do you want him to do when Russell?
What are the 2 controllables in sports, Ralph? Tell me. I'll wait. Energy and effort.
Yeah. Okay.
So he hasn't done that in the first half of basketball. Okay. I've watched it.
Okay. So the first half. No, you advocate that the first half of basketball games don't even matter. So now all of a sudden LeBron doesn't put any effort into first half of basketball games. Now it matters. Bro, give me a break,
score
Tommy.
Doesn't matter.
Give me a break, dude.
Hustle always matters.
So now since he said at peace, his hustle's been is gone, and his competitiveness is gone, according to you, right? Because he said he's at peace.
Have you watched him?
I've watched him for the past 3 years on my team. Absolutely.
Now you're talking about previous years. Have you watched him this season?
Yes, I pay fucking $18 a month for fucking NBA League Pass. So yeah, I did fucking watch him.
Nice. So, but listen, I love a great argument with you. I'm not shitting on LeBron's legacy. I'm not shitting on how great of a player he is. I'm shitting on in this moment. Okay, in this moment, you can make players rise above their skill level, right, and be a leader. Right. And right now, what I'm watching is the opposite of a leader. I'm almost watching, look at me. Right. And when I start seeing guys do this, it turns me off a little bit. I've never been a LeBron hater, and that's well documented. I've never sat here and shit on LeBron James. Am I an MJ guy? Yes, I am. But that doesn't take away what LeBron's done. And I'll never take away what he's done because that's the facts of the matter. But what I will take away is now you want a stat pad because that's how I'm taking it. That's what I'm watching. That's what my eyes are telling me. That's not taking away from his greatness. It's saying, hey, okay, your team isn't good right now. I get it. He's in a tough spot with that group. But you still, if you guys are going to follow your lead, bro. You're these guys watched you, these younger guys growing up, right? They're going to all follow what you do. And if you tell me they don't, then you guys are all fucking morons because everybody wants what the star has. Everybody wants the fancy cars. Everyone wants the big homes. Everybody wants the interviews. So if you ain't hustling and you're a little lackadaisical, what do you think that does to the younger players on your team?
He just built different, right? He's not the Kobe's. He's not the MJ's. It's always been his underlying thing that he doesn't have that killer want to kill you, put his foot on your throat and kill you. Like that's never been his makeup. You know what I'm saying? But
yeah, real quick too, Mark and Jeremiah. Let me get right to your super chat in a second. Okay, Mark. Again, dude, thanks. Thank you that he played 19 years and he's 37. Didn't know, had no clue. I'm talking about right now. So now what you just did, Mark, is you just Googled, oh, he's averaging 30 a game. Nothing to see here. If you're watching it, there's a lot to see here. There's a lot to see here. And I'm just the worldwide leader of real talk. So I can love a guy and then still tell you how it is. And that's all I'm doing right now. In this moment, I would be extremely turned off if I was a Lakers fan. Extremely turned off by it, okay? Because I just want my best player to give everything he has. You're 37, you don't have it anymore, then let's what, bro? Play 20 minutes a night then, right? Then you can't play 35 minutes a night then. That's my point. You set the standard of how you want your team to play.
But Tommy, the other thing, though, that I keep on going back to is he's doing his parts, though. He's getting people involved. It's just that the other people involved just can't do anything up to him, up to his standards. He's dropping 30 to 35 points a game almost every single night.
And if that was meaningful, right? Just hear me out. If that was meaningful, those 30, 35 points a night.
They are, but when the other player, when the other players are shooting 2 for 9 and 1 for 7 and have 9 turnovers in the first half, how can you work with that?
I'm a hater. Now I'm a hater because telling somebody that a guy.
No, you're not a hater.
No.
You're not a hater at all.
Yeah, because people are morons. Now I just freaking blew the guy on his career. Sat here and freaking gave him I went like this ski pole, right? I was like ski poling the guy on his career. But I'm talking about in the moment how he's becoming a little bit of a mutt to me, and I don't like that because it almost can hurt your legacy a little bit. All right, and now I'm a hater. Because I'm telling you what my eyes are telling you. Jeremiah, Ralph, you can't get mad at a bubble ring. I embrace it, as you should, Jeremiah. We appreciate the super
yeah, I love the bubble ring.
I don't care what it's called, as long as jewelry is valued at Tiffany's. But Tom is right. You're not proving to yourself you're playing for LA. And that's just sort of the vibe I got. And I could be wrong. I don't got every answer to everything. But that's what I've watched. And it's like, dude, a lot of guys can score a bunch of points when teams are losing. But if those points are extremely meaningful, you'd be winning some games. You'd be more like 500, and then I could wrap my head around it. And I know other guys have struggled. I get it. But that means all those numbers really just don't mean much.
Maybe he doesn't have the tank for it anymore. I know what you're saying.
Very well, it could be true.
You're talking about that LeBron in Cleveland, right? That just took over and did everything he possibly do. Play 40 minutes a game, right? Give you 40. 10 and 11, right? Maybe he can't carry the team anymore. Like maybe this is the tail end of his career.
So that 30 is irrelevant. Then that's my point, Nate. The 30 becomes irrelevant because you really aren't carrying 30. Joel's 30 compared to LeBron's 30 are light years different.
And Pete, real quick on that. Real quick on that Westbrook thing. The Lakers front office wasn't willing to give DeMar a 3-year contract, which is the reason it never got done. That is the reason why the trade never happened in the offseason, because we were not willing to give DeMar a 3-year contract.
So he's pretty low right now.
Who? DeMar Rosen?
Yeah.
DeMar DeRozan. We were only willing to give him 2, and it was going to be like Kyle Kuzma and other stuff and picks for the signing trade for DeMar, and we did not want to give him a 3-year contract. That is the reason why it did not happen.
They would have 45 wins now with DeMar DeRozan. Pete,
exactly. I totally agree with that.
The only part
Totally
I
agree.
agree with
His
Ralph
mid-range is retarded. It's mid-range.
LeBron built this team, so who's really to blame?
His mid-range game
It's almost
is,
like the
is
old
probably
school
the
Monte
best.
Ellis.
It's probably the best mid-range game I've ever seen in my life. Outside of Dirk's fadeaway from mid-range,
Yeah, I don't know
it's
about that.
disgusting.
You see Mike play. Mike's mid-range was nasty. Mike didn't miss from inside the arc at all.
DeMar DeRozan similar to like Monte Ellis. Monte Ellis was another guy who could just
Yeah, Monte was good.
in the mid-range games matter. But yeah, LeBron did. To your point, LeBron put this team together. I know AD's hurt, but AD's always hurt.
Yeah, there ain't nothing changing that.
Again, I don't want to keep talking about LeBron. I mean, I just wanted to get that off my chest because it's bothered me. Because you are an all-time great, right? And there's a standard, not always winning, but there's a standard of how you play the game of basketball, and that's my problem.
Ralphie, can I ask you this? Like, no lie, him not playing tonight. I get it. It's at the end of it's at the end of a home streak, and then they go on one again.
Yeah,
Does
and then we
bother you at all?
Sunday against the Pelicans. Yeah,
Like, does it bother you at all? Like, honestly, that he's not playing tonight?
I think he should. I think he should be playing. Like it's. I mean, you don't have nobody else out there. Literally just Westbrook and nobody else. And it's not like it's not like we're coming off of like a back-to-back either. Like there was rest.
No.
There was rest in between. But
now,
I don't know.
like what, 5 days off, Ralphie? Right?
It was like a little 2-day break. Yeah, little 2-day break.
Has like a week off. We're missing this.
Yeah,
game.
essentially.
And you're coming off of a loss, correct? Because didn't you just lose to the Pelicans?
No, they beat Cleveland, right?
No, we beat Cleveland last night. The other night.
Okay, but he played almost 40 minutes in Cleveland, didn't he?
Yeah.
And then he almost ended Kevin Love's career.
Did they win big? Like kind of to Tom's point, did they win big?
Yeah.
And he was in the game late.
Yeah.
Had stats.
So like that's the one thing I'll say to you,
And
Ralphie.
he's
Like,
evil too. He
No, I'm
probably
just
went out.
saying, like
Ralphie, like because I'm not going to do like the. I don't think Tom was doing like the hater thing. I don't understand why.
No, I know.
It was
a little,
that's not to
back
you.
and forth.
No, that's not to you. That's to the chat. But like when you were saying, "Oh, what do we want him to do?" Well, play. Like I understand why people could be like, "Oh, whoa, maybe we're taking the I'm at peace out of context." But you really, you got to expect that reaction when your organization is in a completely horrible situation right now to where you're looking at AD. I don't know what his future is.
Yeah,
the Westbrook
we're not
trade.
looking too hot.
The Westbrook trade was arguably the worst trade of the offseason, maybe one of the worst of the last 5 offseasons. That's really bad. You're looking at an aging LeBron James where now you're looking at 2 back-to-back years where he's hurt. Last year, what was it, the hamstring, Ralph, that kept him out?
Yeah.
And now this year it's the knee, and he talked about
the ankle.
And the ankle. And he said this morning that this knee is going to be a concern for the rest of the season, regardless of how far they go in the playoffs. So they got to look at it to where if I'm the Lakers and if I'm LeBron, or if I'm a LeBron guy, right? And if I'm supporting LeBron because I'm a Lakers fan, and if I hear LeBron say, I'm at peace, and then everyone's talking about the scoring title and everything, I feel like, well, I'm not in it for that. Like the scoring title, great. Like Harper got the MVP. Phillies fans were happy. And then 2 seconds later, we're like, okay, but we didn't make the playoffs. So like, what does it really mean? So like, there's levels to it. So that's not a shot. If anyone thinks that's a shot at him as a player and his legacy and what he did in Cleveland, then Miami, then back to Cleveland, and now in LA, with or without the bubble stuff, like that's not what we're saying. But it is kind of a weird look when you say, regardless of what the context is, I'm at peace. It is what it is. Listen, I'm 37 and I'm the scoring champion right now, but my team sucks. Like it doesn't mean anything.
It's just that there's always a statementism with Bron. Like there's always something with whatever he does, whatever he says. There's always something like, the greats of the greats never got that like he gets it. So I get what Ralph's talking about.
That's today's social media era too, right? That's today's social media too, right, Nate?
Yeah.
If Mike was playing today's social media, he wouldn't have done half the shit that he did back then, right?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I mean, you just go back to all the greats in the back, right? It's just I hear you because it's just
I think Mike is the GOAT, but Bron, like if anybody wants to argue that they think Bron is, I won't argue with you anymore, because the shit he's doing and what he's doing at this age is crazy. But we always question him. We always question LeBron's greatness, but we never question Kobe. We never question Timmy's. We never question Kareem. We never question Mike. It's not even a question. It's check marks across the board. But Bron, it's like nah, a little bit, a little bit.
I think a lot of that's self-driven though too. He's pushed himself down
He's not
by
a killer.
his
He's
own
not a
face.
killer like
No,
them
I'm saying
killers
he's pushed
are.
himself onto everybody and made it all about him, where everyone else kind of really did it.
I bet
absolutely.
you $5.
Timmy just went Timmy just
I
went
will
about his
bet you
business.
$5 too.
Yeah.
If he never had that decision thing when he was going to Miami,
Yep.
he probably wouldn't have the heat that he has on him now.
But,
Where
yeah,
it was,
I don't disagree.
no pun intended.
You know what I
yeah,
mean?
exactly.
Judah,
By
real
the way,
quick.
the Joel needs 38 points to pass LeBron as the scoring champ as of right now.
Judah, real quick, that was off of a back-to-back too, and Joel Embiid has played more games this season than he ever has. So, again, it's not comparable. It's not comparable. Let's not try and compare the situation. And one team's comfortably in the playoffs, the other team's fighting just to stay alive.
That boy Tobias.
Nice.
Sixers up 11.
Yeah, they should win by almost 20 today.
Embiid's got 18.
That'd be nice.
Tobias has 13. Maxey has 11. Harden with 5. Niang with 9.
That's a
DeAndre
complete
with 4.
mismatch.
With 3.
Can Thibault give me two buckets though? Jesus, man. I bet on Thibault to not have more points, and then he has season highs. And then when I do bet him to get 2 buckets, he can't even see the rim.
I've stopped trying to bet Thibault. Thibault is off limits to
Killing
me
me.
going forward.
Killing me.
Anybody see that fight with Jimmy Butler on the bench?
I just saw it.
I heard
No,
that,
what
yeah.
Him and Spoelstra got into it, and Haslam.
And then, of course, Haslett, the old grandpa.
Yeah, I love it. I love it.
PJ
I love
Tucker.
Haslam.
I think it was PJ Tucker. PJ Tucker's face was tremendous in it.
Wait, that was real?
Yeah, that happened
Yeah.
tonight.
Because I saw a report, but it was from that Ball Sports thing, that Twitter,
Yeah.
that everyone that
I just retweeted it, Ryan, on A2D's Twitter, so you can say it.
okay.
What, the fight?
Yeah.
I won't do that to our fans. I'll watch it afterwards.
I'll watch it right.
I'll watch it right now.
I'll watch it right now. Are we all going to just watch it right now?
We'll have live reactions while we're doing live reactions.
Nate, I love a good fight, especially when it's
Love
not
a
my
good
team.
fight.
Especially when it's not my team.
It must be in the water in Miami.
Speaking of good
Masvidal
fight,
and Covington got it on in the steakhouse the other day.
What? I heard steakhouse. I heard steakhouse.
I heard Covington and Steakhouse. I didn't know what else you said.
Masvidal
I was about to say that Masvidal
showed up to where Kobe Covington was and snuck him, hit him twice, sucker punched him twice, took out his tooth.
If you're watching us over on the YouTube side of things, or to Facebook, or to Twitter, make sure you hit the like, make sure you hit the subscribe, follow, stay with us for a while. Jeremiah, I'll get to your super chat in a minute, and your super chat is brought to you by FanUp. And FanUp is the best way to enjoy fantasy sports, daily NBA contests, and more. Win great prizes. Sign up today. Use promo code A2D for 5,000 bonus points. That's a $50 value. You can find FanUp right on the Apple Store. Go use our promo code A2D and get yourself 5,000 bonus points. No brainer. You'll be able to play for a while.
While Tom pulls that up, just watching that video, Ralphie, I know nothing about the situation, but just watching that, I'm 100% on Udonis Haslam's side.
It was like
he's 100% correct.
Oh, absolutely.
Whatever he said, he's right. He said, he's
I
right.
think that to start the second half, the Celtics went on a 13-0 run, and then it just all went downhill from there in the huddle.
Good. I want that to burn to the ground.
Come on, hit the subscribe, people. Go on. The road to 10K starts with everybody watching over on YouTube. Okay, pound the like, comment in, let us know where you're tuning in from. Let us know if you're a Sixers fan, a Lakers fan, whatever. You're all welcome. You're all welcome here. All welcome at this dinner table. Ralph, not so much right now, but everybody else.
I'm at the kids' table.
He's at the table.
Jeremiah, thanks for a super chat, brother. He's been super chatting a lot. He said I disagree. If Ron never left Cleveland, he more than likely wouldn't have chips he has now. Then we'd have a whole new convo. Listen, fair. I don't care.
No, Jeremiah, I just think Ralph was talking about the hour-long show called The Decision. Like, he could have gone to Miami and just said, "I'm going to Miami."
Yeah.
That's
Pretty
what.
much,
That's what
the whole spectacle of the decision. You
know what's funny too? Didn't he do it in Cleveland? Didn't he do it in his hometown?
He did it outside.
Oh my gosh!
Cleveland, yeah.
Oh my god.
Ralphie. By the way, what the hell is AD wearing? Why does it look like he's undercover?
I have no idea. Didn't Carmelo do it? Not Carmelo. LeBron do it the other night. Jeez.
No, Carmelo actually plays. He actually plays.
I love Carmelo.
I'm just watching the video. It's funny how Kyle Lowry just gets up and leaves.
Yeah.
He's like, I don't have a chance.
I'm not
He's
doing
from Philly, so he's like, all right, I know what's about to go down. Let me slide out here before I get collateral damage.
Oh my God, what is he wearing? He looks like a Tuscan Raider. Jeez.
That was good work. I mean, I know we're kind of all over the place, but that was good work by Joe to continue to establish the post. And then they finally were able to squeeze a pass into there. That's something you don't see in the NBA anymore.
No, another good look by Harden.
You know what I mean?
Another good look by James too.
Is that who ended up? I was more focused on Joe than who actually made the pass.
Yeah, it was him again. He's been doing a great job of him getting Joe involved and getting Joe good looks. You know, something that he hasn't had here. That's why his numbers have gone up if you look at it since the arrival.
Pedro Martinez behind LeBron?
Yeah, I guess you're
Looks
right.
like him, yeah.
I'm just saying, like him and Ben won a lot of games. It's not like
No, it's nothing about winning. I mean, it's nothing about him and Ben winning. It's about his numbers has gone up since the arrival of Harden because this court opens up, the spacing opens up, right? But him and Ben can win, and I would still say that if Ben just played
his numbers better. Was his numbers better last year? I thought he had an MVP each season.
No, this year his numbers are better.
His numbers are better.
And his numbers have gone up since the arrival of Harden too.
Oh, I get what you're saying. Yeah.
I'm just talking about the arrival of James. His numbers have gone up. His looks have become easier.
Does
In my opinion, that's just what I'm watching.
Does ESPN have to have like a certain amount of screen time for LeBron James?
Yes.
It's
Yes.
overkill. Like
That's
their whole. That's why I want to stop talking about him too. Like let's talk about the game. We did enough of him. And that's what ESPN did. They made it all about him. He's not even
They
playing.
did a whole friggin' highlight film just now. It's like the guy's in a t-shirt. Oh God, get up.
Toby, good shot, Tobe.
I don't even give a damn about the shot after I saw Joel go down like that.
Take him, Max.
Yeah, he's 50. He's 50.
He's got rejected by the.
Yeah, I'm not watching the game, but Embiid, he always takes big hits, man. He just awkward sometimes.
No, he's a big awkward. Good steal.
He had a steal in a bucket from Matisse.
Oh,
Here you go, Nate.
There we go.
Here you go, Nate. There's one. There's one, Nate. Yep.
He's only 1 for 6. Let's go.
yeah.
Can I get another bucket?
All right, we're down by 10.
He should get
We're doing
enough
all right.
bucket left. I mean, it's so weird.
There's
with
plenty
him.
of time.
It's so weird. You know what it is? It's good when Embiid's off the court because Harden looks for Thibault.
Yeah.
He really
You know
does.
what I mean? And I'm guessing because Thibault's his slasher, the guy who cuts, who moves, but he looks for Thibault. It was a couple games I saw him like he was trying to get Thibault like offensively going.
Yeah, Nate, I think that he's because Harden's a rival could get Thibault paid. Right?
Yeah, right.
Like somebody. Not saying Max. Like, you know what I mean? It just
he's
gonna get looks, right? Stuff like that. If he gets him up to, averaging 8 a game, playing great defense, that's what somebody like overpays for him. You know what I mean?
He gets like the friggin' I feel like Landry Shamet when he signed with his team this year. I feel like it was crazy. It's like, you know what I'm saying? Like something like that. Get him like the Landry Shamet deal. Get him $10 million more than he should make.
Yeah, because you're right. He's going to be starting, right? He's going to be He's going to be starting, so he's going to get the looks. Right?
Oh,
and if he can show anything pulse offensively, he's going to be that sneaky free agent that someone's going to think that they can fix his offensive game.
I don't think they need to fix his offensive game. He just needs to. He's
got like a lid on the bucket right now. Like he really does. That's a good take too. He just got a lid on. Get out!
Oh,
Get out, JoJo.
Foul.
Nate, who? Thibault? He doesn't need to fix his offensive game?
Yeah, I don't think so. Why do you like everybody wants him to be more offensive, but he's great defensively.
Yeah,
he's not a lot. Did we think he's going to be this great two-way player?
No, I just need him to
be
be able to
do a first-round pick. You hope.
I need him to do one thing.
I need him to hit at least an open 3 every once in a while, though. You know what I mean?
He's bottom. The problem is, Nate, he's bottom 3 in every offensive category in the NBA. That's the problem. If he's just average or not terrible on offense, I'm fine. Like I don't need him scoring 15. The problem is he does not have one consistent thing on offense he can go to. He's like bottom 2 in the NBA and
he misses a lot of layups.
Yeah, you know what he's great at?
He misses a lot.
The counterattack, breakaway, slam dunk. Like that may be elite. Maybe the best ever. But the problem is like you're only going to get maybe one of those a game.
Yeah. I mean, the game is offensively driven, of course.
You just need to be comfortable and be able to knock down, a 3 here, a 3 there, right? Just for the spacing side of things, and I think he's done a little bit better job of it since the arrival of Harden. He's got a lot more open looks than he has too. So
he ain't scared to shoot. You know what I mean? He'll shoot. He'll take the shot.
No,
he just don't make him.
God, you don't need him making threes. God, Jesus.
Ralphie, by the way, what do you think of this big time matchup tonight? I meant to ask you. It's the irresistible force meets the immovable object. That's Austin Reeves versus Tyrese Maxey at the Garden.
Yeah, it's pretty good, huh?
Yeah, a couple times they won 1-on-1. I almost stood up.
I mean, one thing you look at James, he can get to the basket at will. Not like Crown. Not sitting there crowning, but he's got to start hitting threes. But he can get to the basket whenever he wants to.
He's been off. His shot has been off for a couple
I think
weeks.
It's the hamstring. I think. It's the hamstring.
You think it's the hammy?
No, I just think it's contagious. I just think that
they should just rest. Just sit him.
Sometimes that bucket can have a lid on it, right? And then other times, man, you feel like you're shooting into the ocean, right? So I just think that's how it goes sometimes for shooters, right? All around the league, right? But at the end of the day, he still has 11, and he's 0 for 4 from 3, right? So,
although I'm not looking at the game, are they short? Are they all short? Are they long?
No.
They're
it's a mix.
They're doing everything but go in. It's
he's got a lid on it. He's just got he's just in a rough patch, but he's still got 11, 5, and 5 right now. That's my point. Like, so
but he's
still
4 for 13. I'm looking at
impactful.
That's
Yeah, so it's like it's an impactful, even though he's not shooting great.
Yeah, he hasn't. Like I said, man, he hasn't been shooting great, especially from 3. He hasn't been shooting great from 3. I know that. Just looking at the the numbers and stats, because his numbers were, and I only noticed because of the bets, right? So his numbers stays around 2.5 threes a game, but he takes like 8 shots, 8 threes, 7 to 8 threes a game, and he never hits that. He was in the beginning, he was okay, but he hasn't hit it in the last couple games.
He's got fouled from 3. He hasn't been taking that many. I think he's been around just depends if he makes any. If he doesn't make any, he doesn't seem like. That's where I agree with TTP. I mean, he's a volume shooter. He'll get in the rhythm. I'm not worried about him, and I'm definitely not worried about him when we're winning basketball games and I see his impact when he's doing other things too and still scoring. Like, let's not act like he's been under 15 a game here. Even when he struggled, he's still working 18-20. Like, he still walks into 18-20. Even when he's struggling.
Tell him I'll ask you this. We can all come up with one, and then the chat too. Who's the player you're most worried about? Like notable. You know what I'm saying? Like, not like Isaiah Joe.
I would say Harris.
I'm not. I honestly, Ryan, it's a good question. I'm not worried about anybody on this team. I'm not worried about these guys. I think they're starting to feel their roles out. They're starting to understand it. They're doing other things. Like, okay, if Tobias isn't scoring, Tobias is playing great defense. He has. If you're watching games, he has. So it's not just, right? People get so caught up in a box score instead of getting caught up with like, hey, we won a game and Tobias was great defensively tonight. Like, other things matter. And if you're going to cut nets down, things have to go right for you. Everybody who's ever cut nets down in the history of sports, right, period, things have had to go right. Right?
Nate, you said Toby?
Yeah, I said Toby because I think, we all love Maxey, right? We all love the development. We all see that what he's becoming and what he's coming into. But he's still young. What is he, 21?
Yeah, just turned.
Yes.
Yeah, he just turned 21. The moment is going to catch up with him. Now, does he play well in the moment? Probably, sure. But he's going to also have those kind of immature mistakes where he just doesn't understand the moment. And there's going to be times where, Harden, they're going to need that third gun. They're going to need that third score. And if Maxey isn't that third score, what's that?
Harden hit a 3.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I don't if it ain't Thibault, I don't care. You know what I mean? That's what I thought. When y'all going like this, I'm like, let's go.
Nate, we need to see one go in. It's been a minute. It's been a minute for him.
But I think
why did Harden and Embiid just run into each other and we're both on the ground?
They were giving each other a high five. They were excited.
Yeah. I think it's Harris because sooner or later Maxey's not going to be. He's going to be off.
The hammy.
He's going to need that third score. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You're going to need that third score, and I think it's got to be Harris. They got other shooters, but
think,
to
Nate,
me, it's got to be Harris.
The only devil's advocate I'll give to you, when Tyrese isn't going, usually Tobias is. Like, they've been a good yin and yang per se, right? And to feel that out, right? And basketball's so much feel in terms of hot hands, right? And I think they've done a really good job through their first 11 games all together of sort of feeling out who's hot and who's not, right? And I think Tobias has done a good enough job. I really do. He's the guy I'm just not worried about. He's the definition of consistency. He usually is, right?
No, he was when Harden got in, like you said, they were trying to figure it out. So in the beginning, he was lost
a little bit.
Right. Maxey was cool.
Yeah.
Right. Maxey found his groove right away as soon as Harden got
a lot quicker than you expected a second-year guy too, right?
Right.
To his credit,
it just worked out for Maxey. But Harris was still trying to find that groove. He was still trying to figure out where he fits. And to him, I would think I'm the third scorer, but he was getting open shots. They just weren't falling, whether it was the moment, whether he was rushing or whatever. Now he's starting to get a little bit more consistent, and that's what I want to see from Harris. But, to me, the big three is still Maxey, right? Just your third guy. You don't put Harris there.
So how many games? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5,
so,
7, 8.
It's just, in those key moments when you need somebody else, they come double Joe. They throw it to Harden. They come double. You swing it. Who you swinging it to, Maxey or Harris?
Or at least who you comfortable with that shot going up from, right?
Yeah. And to me, I would think it should. I think Harris been in that moment more times than Maxey. Right? Does Maxey need to grow? Does Maxey need to get those shots? Absolutely. You know what I mean? I would have loved for what game was that when Nian took the corner shot and then he tried to hit it back. I would have loved to see Maxey get the ball there and then see if he can get that shot.
The kick out to the wing where
see what he does in that moment, right?
Yeah.
Set shot, hands up, ready to go.
The counter to that too, Nate, is he might be too young and so young that it doesn't even phase him right now.
I just think he goes out there and plays.
We just don't. To your point, though, we don't know how he is yet in those moments.
Yeah, right. Exactly.
I think to your point, Nate, I think the worst, and we saw this, and this could be, maybe an example of the lights getting too big or too bright, for you. Like you look at his performance against the Nets, right? In that infamous game where everybody laid an egg. He was a non-factor. The thing with him is that it's not like a Harden, for example, or a lot of other people where their, bad impact in the game is going to be that they shoot you out of games or all of that. It's that, hey, he's just going to be really passive. That's the issue with Maxey at times, to where, and it's very easy for, like you said, Nate, a 21-year-old to pass up the opportunity for an open shot when you have Harden, who's James Harden, Embiid, who's the MVP, and Tobias Harris, who's making more money than anybody right now on the team. So it's very easy to be like, okay, you take the shot. But as we've seen, when the guy's aggressive, whether or not Harden and Embiid are on the court, or like, in the game against Miami, you saw the guy's just gonna shoot.
Good. No, I completely agree with you. I mean, and I just
Lil Wayne in the house.
Like you said, the money wise, all that good stuff, it all makes sense for it to be Harris. And if it's not, it's cool. Like we all love Maxey. We all, love the way he's playing and the way he can, he's just a scorer. He just can score. He can get to the basket. It's not too bad from three. What is he, 1 for 2 today? I mean, he usually makes almost 2 to 3 threes a game, especially when Harden out there. So they're gonna be tough to beat, man. They really are gonna be it's got Harden and Embiid have to both be off for them to lose. And for that to happen is rare. Like you said, Harden's not even playing well, and he's walking into 15, 20. 15,
yeah, I mean,
20, 8 and 8.
He's played, just by eye test, he's played pretty awful tonight. He's got 17.
Yeah, he's 17, 5 and 5. Yeah.
So if it even means anything, if this game gets out of hand, he probably won't play a lot. Same with Joe in the fourth quarter.
Let's go Thigh.
Yeah, more Thigh.
We should put Joe on the game, pad those stats.
But you look at it, Nate, you're telling me he's not going to get 7 more points for 24? You know what I'm saying, Nate? Like he needs 7 more points to get to 24. Anyone would take 24. I mean, I feel like anyone would take 22 points from Harden, especially with his facilitating role.
Yeah.
And again, you're looking at it. I mean, you've got 9 from Niang. You've got 4 from DeAndre Jordan. That's probably 4 more than I would expect on a given night. 3 from Shake, 4 from Korkmaz, and 0 from Danny. Like, I don't want to say my biggest concern is Danny
look
Green.
At that last look. Just look at that last look, and that's everything that you need to know.
Yes, he gets other guys involved.
That look at Embiid right there. You know, no disrespect to Ben, but how many times did they do a pick and roll like that, or anything on terms of that, where they looked like that good together? You know, and that's why that's why I've always yelled real quick. Right, that's why I've always
you're fine.
that it's a perfect fit. Like their games complement each other so well. Like people are talking about first round exits. Like knock it off. Like if they get first round exit, they get a first round exit. But like these guys are so perfect together, and that's why I made the statement I made about a light Shaq and Kobe. Like a light. It's not Shaq and Kobe, obviously, right? But it's a light because of the fit. And anytime you pair a great guard, and now you got 2 of them per se, because of Maxey's impact, and you put them around a big man, that equals success, boys. Another one for Harden. Now he's got 19, right? So,
you know, sleepwalk into a quiet. He's going to end up with like 24, 8, and 7 probably.
Jay King, you can say he looks terrible, guys, and I'm just going to tell you, okay, you're just looking at the shot, and I understand it, but you're not looking at the fact of how much of a great distributor he is. You're not looking at the fact that the guy's still going to walk into pretty much his numbers. He's just going to do it. That's what he's going to do. He's going to go to the line. He's going to be impactful. And if you don't think 2 guards that can score at will and you surround them with the best big man in basketball, if you think that's a first round exit, I would tell you that, again, stop watching. Is anything possible? Sure, of course.
Yeah, we lost to the Hawks. Anything's possible.
Yeah, things got to go right. Like at the end of the day, things have to go right for you to get to where you want to get to.
You and I were talking. It was the Monday after the. It was the Monday before the Harden trade even happened, and we had all these people saying, "Oh, well, the pick and roll is not going to work. You can't pick and roll because Joe it doesn't run with that and all that." And we didn't see what Ben and Joe.
I never said it wouldn't work.
I didn't even say you. Why are you defensive? I didn't say you.
Because I'm the one that said it.
You're not on Monday. I was talking about Monday. I didn't say Wednesday.
I never said it wouldn't work. I just said Joe's never done it.
See how quickly he got defensive? See how it's in his head. There's no defense.
I said it. I was the loudest one on it prior to the trade. After the trade, I was the loudest one on the shows. And I never said it wouldn't work. It's just it wasn't something Joe hasn't done before. And Joe's been more of a pick and pop guy in his career. I'm glad it's working.
And why was that though, Greg? Why was he more of a pick and pop?
Whoever he was picking and rolling with wasn't worth driving against.
Yeah, there was nothing to roll to because Ben Simmons was not a threat to shoot.
Well, it wasn't even Ben Simmons that he was picking and rolling with. It was always Seth. It was always somebody else. If you remember, it was always JJ. It was always Seth.
Yep.
No, but
the other guys weren't drive worthy. And to James's credit, he has always been drive worthy. It's just Joel's never done it. That's all I said.
Yeah, well, no, and he hasn't had the opportunity to do it. And this is why, like I said, I wasn't just talking about you, to where so many people were saying, oh, well, we didn't see it with Ben and Joel, the primary point guard and the primary center, that, oh, my God, it's not going to work. Well, again.
He's hurt. God damn it.
Who?
We'll pause this conversation for this.
All right, I'll get the Bible stories of the holy
see
water.
because I was trying to do some other stuff. What happened?
Not a foul, by the way.
Is he hurt?
I was looking to see if he got like a knee to the thigh, but it looks like
it looks like maybe a hammy.
Like maybe he just kind of tweaked his knee a little bit.
I'm so.
I didn't see any contact to the knee, like to the
quick.
thigh.
How is that not a foul though?
He's still in.
How is that not a foul?
He's laying on the ground.
That's what I'm saying.
He's on the ground.
There's no foul there?
Probably not.
Nope, it's the hammy. We can't have nice things. We can't have nice things. Everybody bitches and complaining about the guy now. He's not going to be playing. So then you can bitch about that.
Let me see.
Ladies and gentlemen,
is he still now?
Welcome Shake Milton to the start.
Yeah, they went to commercial, so.
Yeah.
Well,
everyone's so concerned about Harden. Oh my God, he's so bad. Well, it's going to be Shake Milton now. It's going to be Shake Milton now.
You think they go back to Shake to start?
Bummer.
Over like I'm just saying, like over like Danny or George's.
Well, it's either
and
him
keep
or
shaking in that coming off the bench mode. You know what I mean?
It's probably Korkmaz, to be honest. He probably plays the two.
Well, yeah, and then he can't play any days, so there's that. And then so you better score, and then you're in trouble. If you're just joining us, make sure you hit the like. Make sure you hit the subscribe. Stay for a while. Oh, stay for a while. Sorry, walking doesn't mean that you don't have a hammy issue.
Sure.
But listen, if you're just joining us again, hit the like, hit the subscribe. Stay for a while. Epic Eagle, we're hoping we don't have to do a prayer service again. We're hoping, but that's a foul. Like that's 101.
Yeah, that's a foul.
This is a star player. Are we fucking okay?
Yeah, I don't know where the foul was. I mean, let me rephrase that. I don't know why there wasn't a foul called. Excuse me, my bad.
So we'll give you updates as they come in on Harden.
Right. Before that conversation, you were starting to go with your concern was Danny Green, and I'm going to, or you were at least alluding to that who that was going to be. I'm going to echo that, and it's not so much Danny himself, but just the role that he brings as that veteran coming off the bench, and just the experience that he has. And he's been around this team for a while, so he's got the pulse. I think going forward, or at least into the playoffs, I think he's got to have some sort of a role on this team. And again, that's not saying he's got to score 12, 15 a night, but he's got to be impactful in some way, more than likely in most games if we're going to, especially from that bench.
Yeah, I completely agree, Greg. And everyone, as soon as we bring up Danny Green, Jay King, he says, oh, Danny Green should be out of the rotation. Listen, we all understand that Danny, while he has played in the very limited minutes, because he hasn't played much this season, he hasn't been good. He looks like somebody who should have retired 2 years ago, not somebody who's getting paid $10 million. But I think, Greg, what you and I are saying is that he's not even taking any shots anymore. Like he put up one shot tonight. That is egregious because he's going to give you some defense while his knees aren't absolutely on fire. But the issue is when he's on, that's how important it is. I need you to come in. If you're playing 9 minutes, come in and shoot 3 times, make 1. You know what I'm saying? Make 1 3.
Yeah.
Have some pulse because,
the only agreement I have is there's one basketball to go around. So how many shots are guys taking in their minutes? I'm not saying he shouldn't take more shots, but if it's just taking shots to take shots, I don't want that, right? Well, I want you playing smart basketball because you have a lot of guys who can score more than you, right? So if you're not getting your open 3 looks, then I don't want you shooting. And then there's nights he gets his open 3s and he takes them. I'm not sitting here going to defend Danny Green at all. I'm just saying that there's one basketball to go around, and I think we get caught up. In, oh, this guy only took 2 shots tonight. Okay, but how many shots are we taking? We're not going to average 150 a night in terms of scoring. So we have to understand that, hey, there's going to be some nights where maybe Danny gets off 4 threes. There's going to be nights where maybe he doesn't even take a shot because of it. We watched Shake play minutes and not even shoot either because there's other guys on the floor that are better scorers than you. Either Joel's on the floor or James is on the floor or Tyrese or Tobias. And these guys, because they're team guys and these guys are their stars per se, they take a back seat on purpose. And that's what it is. It's not, maybe he has no impact on the game. Fine. But I don't want Danny just taking shots just to take them so he can meet a quota. No, and that's what people are doing. There's quota tonight.
It's not about him just putting up shots to put up shots. The problem is
that's what it is.
Seeing, well, no, because he's passing up more. He's passing up more shots than he's taking. Open shots
for maybe better looks. For maybe other guys getting better looks. For maybe he goes into the post with it. There's reasons for it.
Well, I think he's not.
Not who he was in the past. So I don't know what we're expecting.
I'm expecting him to take open looks when he's playing with Harden. Everything Niang is, Danny can be. The problem is Niang's taking the shots. Danny's not. He's not even trying them. That's the issue. He's passing up open looks.
Again, I'm not going to sit here and try to defend Danny Green. I'm just telling you there's not a quota he's got to meet because there's other guys that are better scorers and overall scorers than he is. So if he's just taking shots,
I completely agree there.
Like that's all my point is. It's like
if he's passing up open shots, then we have to go back.
Well, we're all like this is my point to you guys. Okay, I'm just gonna run you through because numbers are numbers, right? Yeah. Numbers are numbers. If you look this through the last, I guess this is the last 10 games or this is March, right?
Mm-hmm.
2 for 5.
I just wanted to hit the shots that he's taking.
Yeah,
that's
2
all.
for 5. 2 for 5. Then he went 0 for 0. Then he was 2 for 8, 1 for 1, 0 for 5, 2 for 5, 1 for 6, 1 for 2, 2 for 5. I mean, it's not like he's not taking shots. There's 1 or 2 games where like, maybe he needed more shots in those games. Fine, but it's not like he's not taking shots. It's just it's what he's going to give you.
Yeah, I guess in my thought, it's those shots that you're taking need to be hit than not, right? Because they're open looks and you're not giving us much else anymore that you used to, right?
Yeah, I mean, he's going from, again, he was a key part of this rotation. He was he was our starting 3 to now he is a very small factor on, off the bench. That's the biggest thing. It's the dramatic fall off of, okay, this guy was one of the key pieces to our 3-point shooting to I'm happy if he makes a 3-point shot. It's the fall off that's killed it.
I mean, listen, I hear you. I'm just saying it's not like he's not shooting at all. Like there's one game in there where it's like, okay, he didn't take an attempt. I mean, everything else has shots, and I'm not here to defend the guy. Right. There's a game in here where he has 4 steals, he has 2 steals, he has 2 steals. Like, I mean, there's other scores on the court. He's really making that shot. There's other scores on the court with him, and I don't want him just taking shots to take them. Right? If you have open looks,
absolutely.
Of course. If you have open looks, I want you to shoot. And I think that's just 101. Tyrese!
Please.
Tyrese!
Bang! Thank you.
You know what I'm saying, right? I don't disagree.
Yeah.
Did Harden go back and come back out?
Yeah, he's back on the bench.
Yeah.
I don't disagree with the impact side of it. I totally understand that. And that's what I'm saying. Like, so I think he plays still solid defense. Like, what do I want Danny Green to do? Like Danny Green is what he is at this point. So it's almost like a Tobias thing. Like he is what he is, right? If you're playing good defense and you're moving the basketball and you're taking the open looks you have, that's what you are. You're not a star. I don't expect him to be one either. That's all. That's all it is. So it's not like a defend thing. It's just like he is what he is.
Yeah, I guess the last thing I'll say.
Toby's getting bodied by Ross. Come on, Toby.
Yeah, you never want that.
Yeah,
you never want to see that. He's not even looking at the guy in the eyes. Jesus.
But no, he hasn't been as impactful as he's been in years past.
And it's even more glaring when you have, for the most part, except for the Miami game and little parts of this, very little impact coming off of your bench. It's like, okay, well, I don't play the money game because, again, in the regular season, the money doesn't mean anything, especially when you can't make any moves. But it's like, okay, Danny, you are supposed to be that veteran presence, whether it's in the rotation, off the starting lineup, or at least off the bench. And when you've got Furkan, who's, a non-entity for the most part this season, Shake, who's been in and out of the lineup due to a bunch of different things, a backup center who, could barely freaking move anymore. And then George Niang, who's been by far the best bench piece, so much to where people foolishly think he should start over Tobias Harris, which I will never understand. That's where it's really glaring to where, okay, I need you, Danny. Whatever it is you do, you know what I'm saying? Because sometimes it is just steals, Tom. Sometimes it is defensive presence. Sometimes it is a key shot.
Well, it's 40% from 3 on the road.
I'm sorry, what was that? You said 40 on the road?
40% from 3 on the road. Like, that's what I want from a veteran. Like, I just think we overreact to certain guys that, like, don't need to be overreacted. Like, let's overreact to the 4 guys that need to get us to where we got to get to. That's where it's like, okay, you can overreact to that. Right? You know what I mean?
Well, see, I don't necessarily think it's an overreaction because we just need a second guy to lean on off the bench. That's it.
Well, it's never going to be him. That's Shake. That's Furkan. They're guys who can sort of create their own. Like, not even Furk as much, but Shake can create his own shot. Danny Green's not going to create his own shot. So that limits your attempts. When you're not a shot creator, that limits your attempts in a game. A guy like Shake, he's the one if you want to point to somebody and say, bro, are you gonna attempt stuff? Are you gonna be aggressive? Like, that's the guy we got to look at. because that's the important piece here. I've been saying this for a while, like even when he was out, right? Like Shake's that guy who can score. He can. He just has to be aggressive nightly. That's it.
I just think with Shake, he's not going to get as much run because Doc clearly. I mean, Doc's Doc. He's gonna ride with the veterans more than a younger guy. That's always been Doc Rivers. But that's why he's going to lean on a guy more like Danny Green, DeAndre Jordan, instead of a Shake Milton, Isaiah Joe, and two of the younger centers that everybody on Sixers Twitter clamors for.
Yeah, I mean, I think he can start. I mean, I think he'll start giving Shake more minutes because of the way he played the other night.
I agree.
Because you need Shake.
DeAndre, come to the block.
Speaking of,
fucking idiot.
Yep.
You Toby double teamed and you just stayed on the opposite block.
How are you so far ahead?
Good luck.
And then of course you get the double.
There you go, Greg.
Let's
there you go, Greg.
So he had and he had a back injury, but that's where I'll lean on. Like Shake's more important scoring wise to this basketball team than Danny is. Danny just needs to make a 3 here and there in a game. That's all he needs to do. Like that's all he's asked to do, right? That and play defense. That's all he's asked to do at this point of his career. He's not asked to be like, hey, I need you to take 6 shots tonight, Danny. If you're feeling it and you're open, be my guest, right?
No, I mean, if he comes into a game, it doesn't matter if it's a random game against the Magic on Tuesday or a playoff game, and he puts up, 15 points, I think we're all celebrating like we just won a friggin' championship because it's like, oh my God, that's really getting away with highway robbery.
Because if Niang and Shake can bring you production, you're in great shape.
If Niang gives you 11 and Shake gives you 9, that's 20 points right there.
Yeah.
There's the point. And can Danny mix in a 3, right? And that's all you're asking for. Can DeAndre just have an impact, have a pulse?
Can
right?
Jordan give you, 6 rebounds, 2 blocks, and 2 points?
Yeah, like tonight he's got 9 and 7. Like if you give me that nightly, DeAndre, we're in great shape, right? So it's just guys fitting into their roles, and that's why I lean to the road stuff, right? Okay, you're shooting 40% from 3 on the road. That's why we have a great road record, right? So it's like, okay, you're not doing that at home.
Jesus, thank you, Dwight. Ralphie, were you
Let's
fall asleep
go.
there, Ralph? You fall asleep there, Ralph? What was that?
No, I just had my
No. I meant your team. I meant your team. You just went Tobias Harris right to the
that too.
Yeah, I don't know why we're half court pressing. I don't get this.
Good day. Good take. Good take.
How much does Russ have tonight?
15.
That's it.
That might have been 17. No, 15. Yep.
Come on, Tyrese. I need you to take over now.
To the basket. Yep.
Yes.
Night.
Thank you, Tom. I just thought the same thing.
Good look. Hit it. Now, boy. Ferkie.
First of the season, Ray Allen.
That's the other guy who has to start.
He's important.
Important.
Greg
or not, he's important.
Yeah,
he's been dog shit.
Yeah, I mean, Greg knows I hate him, but he's so important. He's extremely important.
Dude, it's just instant offense. Him and Shake Milton and Niang can give you instant offense off your bench. They can. Nightly, maybe not Ferkie, right? But nightly, Shake and Niang can. That's factual. Shake just needs the minutes to be able to do it. Now, tonight, he's 1 for 5. He didn't shoot the ball. He hasn't shot the ball well, okay? That's okay. But I want him to continue to get the run because now, God forbid, if Harden has a hammy, right, it puts more pressure on Shake having the play.
Tom, to your point, in a 7-game series, I think this is the key. In a 7-game series, can we get 2 games from Korkmaz where he's in double digits? I'm not even asking for like a Korkmaz game where he puts up 19. Like, get me 2 games in a 7-game series where you get to 11 or 10. That's gigantic.
Yeah, and you'd have to hope that he can't keep shooting as bad as he was earlier in the year.
And it's so weird, Greg, because and I know
they weren't all bad shots.
No, they were. No, a lot of them were wide open. It was kind of like Harden, like what we're seeing with Harden.
Right,
like 50.
Is Evan okay?
Probably not.
Like, Evan, are you okay? Did you miss it? Did you miss the big 3 against Miami? Did you miss the big 3 against Orlando? Did you miss some of them in clutch time? Knock it off. Hey, so now we're not going to play Tobias Harris in crunch time? Jesus.
Evan's bored.
I gotta go take a piss. But Ed, I would tell you, like, to wake yourself up back. And I love you, so I say that all due respect. I need you to back away from the computer for 5 seconds. Literally square yourself up in the face. going to bring you back, and you're going to stop with the nonsense. You're just going to stop with the nonsense. Nobody. You're such a Tobias hater. It's comical. Like, this is the funny thing. I'm not Mr. Tobias. But don't tell me a guy who's more consistent, who just gets to his 17, 18 usually. He plays great defense. I think we're such on a one-trick pony anymore when we watch teams that's like, oh my God, he only scored 10. He stinks. He stinks. Okay, but he locked down a guy defensively if you're really watching the game, and you get a win. Like, are we okay? Like, not everybody's going off for 20 a night, people. It's not possible. It is not fucking possible when you have a guy who's already got 18 shots tonight in Joel Embiid. Where are all the shots coming from? Embiid's got 18, James got 17, Tobias got 13, and Max got 11. Where are all the other shots coming from? I mean, wake the fuck up, everybody. Wake up.
Ev's a possession by possession guy. He was going crazy earlier, like, oh my God, could you James Harden, he's so lazy. And then he went quiet for 5 possessions because like he made some good things happen. And then once Harden did something bad again, or Tobias, oh my God, can you believe Tobias and then he went quiet again. It's like there's gonna be some good moments and then there's gonna be some bad.
Tobias Harris has actually showed me something in over the last 3 weeks. Okay.
It's 2, Greg. Sorry.
I know.
He's really showed me something in the last 2 weeks or 3 weeks, whatever it's been. I got to be honest with you guys. And he showed me some toughness on the defensive side that I didn't know he had. That I didn't know he had in him. And to me, that's winning basketball, and that matters. And you know what? I love you to score 25 every night. But dude, if you can give me 15 and give me 8 rebounds per se or 7, and you play great defense, hey, dude, I'll take it because my other 2 guys are going to give me points.
He's your 4th option.
Yeah. Exactly, Nate, right? And even if he's your 3rd, it doesn't matter because your first 2 options, your one's going for fucking 30. You can write it down. And then the other guy is going to walk into 20. And then, okay, Maxey, can you give me 18, Tyrese? Tobias, can you give me 15? Night, game over. Just give me 20 off the bench. How many points is that? I don't know. I didn't add it up, but it's enough. Like me and Sleep said the one Sunday against Toronto, and then they scored like 80 points. But we were like, dude, this team walks into 115 a night. And that's the facts of it. That's really the facts. And then they didn't score after we said that, right? Like they literally did not score after we made that comment. But that's the facts, though. Like that, you're gonna have nights like that, right? Where Toronto just out hustles you per se.
Harden checking back into the game, by the way.
I was about to say, is Harden get back in the game?
Yep. He's on the map.
Harden is back in.
Frankie, guess what?
What?
We didn't have to do a prayer service this time.
I know. I had everything ready. I had the Bible ready.
The Bible ready.
I had the Bible. I didn't fill up my holy water. I had the jacket ready to go. But instead, here's a cute dog just to see as he's getting ready for the prayer service. So
can that dog play backup center?
No.
You're actually a problem. You are becoming a problem. You are becoming like Sixers Twitter. Like you literally are. I mean, the guy gave you 9 and 7 on one leg tonight, and you're still asking for somebody else. I mean, like, why don't you?
Oh, me?
Yeah, like you fucking clamoring for Charles Bassey.
I didn't go shirtless. I didn't go shirtless that night. No,
I'm the one who clamors for him, but I'm not saying that on every single street.
No, listen, young players are not going to help you, especially guys like that, come postseason time. They're just not.
No, I'm not asking. I'm
just joking with you, but like,
no.
The people out there, like if you think Paul Reed and that's a bad look, obviously. But if you think Paul Reed and Charles Bassey are helping you come postseason time, you're misguided.
Well, you know what's funny, Tom?
I would love it, but give him. I would give him another year, maybe 2, maybe, but not right now.
He develops, but right now it's DeAndre Jordan or bust as your backup guy. How many minutes are you really going to play in the postseason? And the guy is a veteran who's been there at least. Right, and that matters. The experience matters, dude. I just need you to rebound. I know you look like you're fucking 50 out there, but just rebound. And he gives you gives you quiet production. Is he drumming? No, but he's fine. He's fucking fine. I signed him. Like, who cares? He's fine.
Tom, I actually laugh at the people who clamor for the and I'm not equating you into this, Frank.
I'd rather have this guy play. I'd rather have this guy play.
No, I am a hater for him. I am a hater of that guy.
Who, Millsap?
Yeah, because he's DeAndre Jordan, but 4 inches smaller and has worse knees.
But again, right, he's a guy with postseason experience. He's a veteran. You're talking about 10 minutes, 12 minutes, right? And in certain small lineups, he can hurt you a little bit. He can maybe give you 6, right? He maybe give you 5 boards. So like it's just spots, right? It's just spots and matchups. And I think that's what Doc's trying to figure out is those spots and matchups.
No, I actually laugh at the people who clamor for the Paul Reeds and the Bassies and the Jaden Springers and the Isaiah Joes. Like people with check marks on Twitter.
Springer, really?
I see that 1,000 times.
Dude hasn't played all year. Now
where's he at? Where is he at?
Delaware.
He just turned friggin' 19, I think, like 2 weeks ago. Like,
have you seen the shooting percentage in the G League? Because it's atrocious.
Yeah,
it doesn't equal the point production that people think it does.
The people asking and begging on Sixers Twitter, again, like checkmark people, you just don't know who Doc Rivers is. Like, I get it. I'm not a big Doc guy. I don't think anybody is. Like, he's Glenn to a lot of us. But you're literally wasting your own time and well-being if you're going to go on Twitter and talk about how Doc Rivers isn't going to the young players over veterans. Hello, have you seen Doc Rivers? That's what he literally is.
Have you seen our past? Our past was entirely of young guys that couldn't get it done. Yeah. You know, and I know Tommy's on record, and it's the truth, right? Young guys don't win championships. You need a mix of veterans. So the big guys I get, right? Because
good take, Ev. Good take, Evan. Kick my ass. That's a grown man take.
The big guys I get because you're right. You know, it's not going to help us in the playoffs, but yeah, I would rather see the young kids over DeAndre Jordan too. But I get why he's there, right? You know what I mean? Like I get why he's there, and I get his impact. But where's Jaden Springer fitting on this current backcourt?
Yeah, like I get it. Like we didn't have a backup.
Where's he getting time between Harden, Maxey, Thibault, Korkmaz, Shake, Isaiah Joe, right? Like all these guys have proven that at least have some sort of skill in the NBA. Jaden Springer's a rookie.
Well, forget about him not having any room, right? Because I can get the argument to people saying, oh, well, what about half the season when we didn't have a backup point guard? It was Point Ferk. I get it. He's 19 years old. I get it. If you had a problem with the pick, sure. We talked about that on draft night that we wanted more of an instant guy. But the amount of times I see in our chats, in our comment sections, and on friggin' Twitter, oh my God, Jaden Springer! If you had Jaden Springer off the bench, he gives you 10 and 11.
I
10 and 11 what?
I
Turnovers?
had the stream right there.
Yeah,
like 10 and 11 what?
Definitely not points.
No.
Seconds?
Yeah, sure. Like freaking like Miles Powell, Charlie Brown Jr. Like what?
Good grief.
I see what you did there, Frank. Very good.
Oh, nice.
By the way, why is this a 4-point game?
Probably because I bet him.
6-point game.
Yeah, now it's a 6-point game.
The NBA, boys, and this is what happens. Everybody thinks, oh, this is a blowout, and it might still be, right? You know, it might end up like that, but it's the NBA, right? It's guys get paid, so you know, and then LeBron's not playing, so maybe you take a little, you know, there's a little wind out of your sail per se, but you know, this game's gonna be fine. They're not gonna lose this game. I'm not.
Yeah, and a travel was just called, so.
Yeah, I mean, if the Lakers win this game, I might block Ralphie's number. I might not.
Ralph's like, damn, is that all it needs to take?
Jeez.
Yeah, well, I'll never do a live stream ever again if it was.
Good hit, Max.
Wow, another one. Let's go, Tyrese. Another fourth quarter. Pathetic, Andrew. What's pathetic, bro? What's pathetic?
Ralphie, you have one of those?
This is pathetic. This is amazing. Like,
It's the NBA. There's no.
I just can't take it. It's about winning. It's about winning games, guys. The hell are we talking about?
I think people are just bored.
We just want all fucking perfection. We're going to end up winning this game by over 10 when it's all said and done.
Tom, you know what I think it is? Honestly, I think
that's the most important because that's the spread. So
yeah,
right.
I think that this fan base had so much aggression and so much anger built towards 25 and the sickness that he was that once he left, we didn't know where to put all the anger. So now we got to put it in stupid stuff.
Yeah.
Like, oh, Tobias Harris. Oh my God, he's doing this. Well, hey, we're up by 9. It's not that big of a deal. Harden's doing this. Okay, well, has one leg, and he's going to probably end up with like 20-something points. Oh my God, Joel Embiid, he lost the MVP. Well, he might have off that shot. He lost the MVP award because they lost against the Nuggets.
Good day,
Actually, no.
Listen, Andrew, I love you too, right? It's just debate. I just want you guys to calm down, right, and understand that we're fine. Like, we're fine. This game's just about winning it. You know what I mean? It's not about like, oh, you won by 20. It's about, okay, you went and took care of business. So then you become 9-3 since the trade, essentially, right? Well, that's pretty good. That's a pretty good run of basketball, people. And now you might have 4 guys, right? You have 3 guys over 20 and Tobias with 17. So what's there to complain about tonight, people? Like this is what I'm talking about. Come playoff time, we say it about football, right? Come playoff time, you give a fuck how they win a series? So if they won the championship but it wasn't pretty, do you care? Like when you're on Broad, you're like, we got problems. We have issues.
Do you care that it was in a bubble?
Like, it is our job. It is our job to tell
he's locked in. He's locked in on something. He didn't even phase him.
No, you didn't even hear me. Ralph?
What'd you say?
What's going on over there?
You all right, brother?
Yeah, I was daydreaming. I'm not gonna lie.
A major shot at you in the bubble, and you didn't even hear me.
I was there.
Ralph, while we have
kind of zoned out.
While we have your attention
tonight, by the way, too.
27.
27?
Yeah, I don't care about
Ralph. I'm sure the chat will talk about. Oh, it's bad. It wasn't 30.
So 27 by your bench, and then including the 3 guys over 20, and another guy with 17 tonight, and we got complaints. Like if you don't have complaints, I want you to pound the like and hit the subscribe and stay with us. Stay with us for this run, because this is just the beginning. And a little public service announcement: we're going to be giving you more 20, 30-minute post games coming soon on HUD Radio. And when the Phillies get rolling, we're going to be giving you 2 or 3 extra post games with them, a little 20-minute, 30-minute little run-throughs of what we watch. So, everybody stay tuned. Hit the subscribe. Stay with us for a while. And that's not counting the 15 live shows that we're already running with here on HUD Radio. So, listen, if it's your first time, fucking pound it. Pound it. Tell a friend, as Nate says. Tell a friend to tell a motherfucking friend. My man, Nate, he's just hanging on right now. He's so tired. I can see it, and I love him, and he's a grinder. You're a grinder, baby. You're a grinder. Now, are we back? Do we love each other again? Are we back? Are we back?
No, I'm not tired. I think I've only fell asleep once on this show. And it's so great because my glasses reflect with the screen, so you never know.
Never know.
Tom,
I was with it. I'm waiting for fucking Thibault to score and my phone to update. It's what I'm waiting.
He's not even in the game, bro.
Tom, he's like our Scott Van Pelt. He's not tired yet. It's the beginning of every, you know what I'm saying? I'm not tired
yet. No,
Ralphie, while we have your attention before you go back to whatever you're watching.
Well, hold on, because I don't care about Ralphie and his attention. I'm sorry. I'm not creating a show around Ralphie's Lakers. I'm just not doing it anymore. We did it for 40 minutes. 40 minutes. I'm not circling back to it, Ryan. I'm not allowing it to happen.
No, it had nothing to do with LeBron. It had nothing to do
with the Lakers, though. So, Ralphie looks professional. Give Ralphie some credit. Guy's got a mic with the bend in the background. I mean, really cleaned his life fucking up over there. And it's tremendous over on our Twitch channel as well. And if you're not a subscriber,
affiliate, baby,
go become a subscriber.
Good shit, brother.
Affiliate today. It's one step closer to a partnership with Twitch. We have Ralphie running a little WWE today. A little WWE.
Yeah.
How is it, Ralph?
Dude, Ralph, it's funny shit.
I saw your win today, Ralph. I saw your win, baby.
Dude, I know. We're making our guy. We're getting there.
Dude, I thought he had you. I pitted you twice.
I know.
Were you playing online or like a story mode?
Story mode. Their story mode they got.
Nice.
And some other public service. We're hoping to get Manny from Fighting Philly over as our other streamer as well, doing some MLB The Show, NBA 2K. So, Ralphie's doing a little bit of everything. He's doing a little college football, right? Ralphie's going a little backwards. Andy's playing Fortnite. And then we're going to get somebody else doing current games as well with Ralphie. And we're looking to try to bring you, content over on our Twitch channel, gaming-wise, like 6-7 days a week. So that's the goal. That's what we're planning on getting to. So
I'm sorry, Tom. I know you're doing your thing, but fuck, Thibault. I'm missing fucking layups out here, man. God damn. I mean, I got money to win. I get it, Tommy. You got to plug everything, and I'm with you with it. You know I'm with you with it. But shit, I'm trying to make money for people out here. God damn it, Thibault. We only got 3 minutes left. What the fuck?
Sweeps. You get a higher seed for a blowout win. Is this college football? You play for dubs. Absolutely. And can you have a concern or two after a game? Sure. That's fair. But the Wagoners are the ones driving me crazy with this fan base. We tanked for superstars, and we have them. So shut the fuck up.
By the way, I think Evan left because ever since we went crazy, he hasn't said anything.
Evan was talking shit on Harris, and Harris went off for a little bit.
Evan hasn't said anything.
My man's pulling popcorn out of his James Harden Arizona State jersey. My man was just on national TV, like spilling popcorn on himself. Like, hey, there's your 3 seconds, buddy.
Ralphie, why is Taylor Horton Tucker not playing tonight?
Hurt.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah. Dynamite dropping, Monty.
Unbelievable.
That just ruined Nate's whole night.
It did.
Because you're not going to get another one of those, Nate.
I'm going to go to sleep. Right? There it was. That was the hit.
Oh, you gotta hope. You gotta hope in the next minute the Sixers just go on a run and they just sit the bench. I mean, they sit the starters. Bible just gets a run. You know what I mean?
To play.
No, he's out there.
He needs a bucket. 4 points.
4. So you have over 3.5?
Yeah.
Oh.
Terrible.
Oh, he's back. Has Niang not had games where he was hot from 3 in the clutch? Was the sole reason of a few wins this season.
Stop it, Evan.
What about when he forgot what the score was against Denver, Ev?
Listen, he's not going to play over Tobias. Will he play over Matisse at times? Yes, depending on the matchups. That's where he subs in for. Wake up, Evan. Wake the fuck up. You're not going to have Matisse and Niang out there at the same time. You're going to sub Niang for offensive possessions over Matisse. That's 101, Ev. Come on, Evan. Do I got to teach you basketball down the stretch, Evan? Do I got to teach you how basketball goes down the stretch? Right? You sub the one guy in for offense, and when you need defense, then Matisse comes in. Wake up.
Could you imagine if Niang played the 3? That is like the slowest starting 5 ever.
Ugh.
It's okay sometimes for closing time, right? When you're down and you need some buckets.
Closing time.
Please?
Oh.
Every new beginning.
Great
Come on, there's over 100 people watching.
Beginnings and
We're down to 6. Get the fucking stop, please. We're down to 6 with 2 minutes left.
All right, we need to lock all windows and doors.
Come on, baby.
Sammy Cassell's yelling. He's up. LeBron's grinning.
Sorry, over on Facebook, there was a glitch in our original stream. It is back. So, Dennis, welcome back.
Toby.
Toby!
Where's Evan at?
Yes, back, Ev. Toby's back.
You don't gotta go nowhere, but get the fuck out of
going nowhere. We're not going nowhere. We're down to 6.
Malik
We're
Monk.
good at the 6 again.
Malik Monk.
Let's go.
I'm telling you, Austin Reeves 3's coming next, Ralphie.
Shut up,
Get a freaking stop.
Oh, he's not even on the court. It's fine.
He's not even on the court.
Hey, go to work, Joe. Go eat the white up. They're gonna double. Look at this guy. Yep, get the call. Bye, Dwight.
Wow.
Tee him up.
Toby for Evan way downtown. Bang. I don't know what your hate is with Tobias. Like, did you want? Like, I love Jimmy Butler, but did you watch what happened today?
Yeah, that was bad.
That's not a good look. And I love Jimmy, but he's always fighting with somebody.
Did you see the up close video?
It's never his fault.
Spoelstra was like, "What? You gonna fight me?"
He went like this.
You're gonna fight me.
I love Jimmy. Jimmy's the dog, but I'll never forget the 324-second violations. So
Yeah.
I think he's still dribbling.
And I love me, Jimmy. I do. I love his dog mentality. I love it. But like, I'll stand by what I said. I'll stand by who I was maxing out there. If I can only pick one, I stand by it.
Because the second things get bad in this organization, Jimmy Butler, he forces his way out and he makes everybody's lives a living hell. He's a very good player, but
is Jimmy better than Tobias? Yes.
Again,
I would 8.
And he made the decision too.
Yeah, he didn't want to be here.
Yeah.
And I made the decision off of age too. I wanted to factor that into to what we got going on here. Would I would love to have both of them and take it back? Sure. So we have 4 guys over 20 tonight as well. Need a basket, double team. Oh, good luck, Joe.
There we go.
Ooh.
All right, I'm late. So
I'm way late.
Oh, Nate got him!
Nate got it.
That wasn't even have the ball yet. There you go, Nate. There you go, Nate.
You followed the play.
Nate got it with
won yourself
50 seconds left
$500.
to go.
Let's
Congratulations.
Tom, something happened
go.
to you. Something happened to my broadcast and your broadcast because you and I are in the same thing. They were celebrating before Thibault even had the ball on my.
I had the same issue too.
Let's go.
Now that I got this, we could do this for Nate.
Oh, he's got a soundboard. I forgot.
Let's go.
What else do you have over there, Ralph?
hey,
got a lot of
real quick, if you are not an A2D member over on YouTube, all right, and that's not enough of a reason to become one, right? I mean, Nate's just giving you out picks on the weekends. Become a member, all right? We see you in the chat easier. We're gonna have a little members game show whenever Frank's ready. So we got some big things.
It's in the work. It's in the works right now. I've been dealing with stuff the past
He's in
couple
a pressure
weeks.
cooker.
Hopefully we'll get things rolling.
I got a Phillies jersey for the next member. I got a Phillies jersey just sitting here waiting. Who's the next
on the
member?
back?
Who's going to be the next member? I don't know. You want me to go get it? I don't know.
Sure.
I can go find out who's on the back. There's a Hurts over there, but fuck him. So I mean, he can't
Jesus
throw
Christ.
freaking little noodle.
Hurts over there. You said fuck him.
Fuck him.
Well, we might want to give it away
Give me a ball and rhythm, baby, and I'll take that.
before we draft Malik.
We're not drafting Malik.
I'm not a t-shirt and shorts guy.
That was
But-
impressive, bro.
Oh my goodness.
It-
That was
yeah,
nice,
on the run,
Oh,
too. On the
stop
run.
it.
On the run.
Wilson, Zach Wilson did it last year. He
They
didn't-
all did it. They all did it. Wilson did it. Lawrence did it. They all did
Yeah,
it.
they all did it.
Relax.
Everybody does
Come
it.
on, stop it.
No, they didn't do it like that though.
Dude, that's 70 yards in the bucket.
It was an impressive throw. Stop.
That's 70 yards in a
He
bucket.
said it was impressive.
No, he might be. He might be
Jalen
top
can't make
one.
that throw.
Did you see that stat, by the
Who?
way? Anyone see
Jalen
that
can't
stat?
make that throw.
Charlie
No.
can make that fucking throw.
No, he can't. Nate, grow up. Are you kidding me? You just think you didn't play Division One football. Would you wake up?
Oh, speaking of that,
Stop it. You don't think Jalen can throw 65 to 70 yards down the
No.
field
In a bucket.
in shorts?
In
and
a bucket.
shirt?
And put it in a bucket.
Yes. Jalen Hurts can make that throw. Like, stop it. He was on fucking air.
What?
Like,
look who I found on eBay. I found you, Nate.
Oh!
Damn, you see the cuts in that boy arm?
Damn!
Yeah. I was like,
You're
randomly
not giving
someone
away
like,
my jersey, Tom.
LaSalle. Hey, there's a pic- hey, that's Nate. I gotta show
Wow.
this to Nate.
Oh, baby blue.
By the way, it's a 4-point game.
But no, he
Tom,
makes
you giving away my jersey, Tom?
he
No,
makes
it's not yours. That was not yours. It was packaged up. It is.
He went up in Greg's room. Fuck it. He ain't
He
living
did.
there.
Come on. Who's our next A2D member over on YouTube? Okay, write in our description. Write in our description. You can scroll down, become a member, $9.99 a month. You ask our members. It's worth it. Nate's winning your money. I'm going to get back to the jersey giveaways, and here's one right now. The next member wins a Bryce Harper jersey. Who's going to be it? Who's going to be that man or lady? Do it.
He's the
Do
reason
it.
we have the team we got right now.
I can't believe he got the alley oop with 50 seconds left.
By
That's
the
great.
way, real quick. Before,
Gotta love it.
Oh, and Sweeps just brought it up too, so I'll just let Sweeps say it. Harden, Maxey, and Tobias, second Sixers trio the last 30 seasons with 20 points, 5 rebounds, 5 assists.
Let's complain.
Yep. By the way, everybody, James Harden's on that list. He's on that list.
He can't be on that list, though.
Oh, and Tobias Harris. I don't think Niang's on this list. I think it's Harden.
I
and
like
Tobias.
This is what people do to me, right? People make me not like guys because of their
Tom,
overall.
I'm with you 100%.
And it turns me off. Like I was the biggest Maxey guy in the world, like on draft night, right?
Yeah.
And then the way people I don't know, okay, he has a bad night, but people are feel like they have to defend him. Like he's young, right? But it's just like the over protection or the over hatred or the over love for guys. It's like what turns me off, and not Maxey, because that's like a bad example. Because you should love Maxey.
Shit, almost just ended his life.
But you know what I mean? You should love Maxey, but like, not that you shouldn't love Niang, but it was like the Mike Scott back in the day, like the high.
Yeah, love him as a bench player. Just stop projecting him as, oh my God, he's going to be he's our third option or he's our fourth option.
Yeah, like the fact of the matter is, Niang in situations is going to be on the court in the last 2 minutes, situationally, and Matisse won't. It will be Matisse. It will never be fucking Tobias. It's like saying, oh, Milton should get more time than Tyrese. That's what that's literally saying. That's what you are literally saying. That's word for word. Evan, other guys in groups, that's what you're saying. You're saying that Shake should play over Tyrese. Okay. Buy a clue. Stop it. Buy a clue.
You're also saying $39 million should be coming off the bench also.
Yeah, and I don't care about money, right? Because if you're not producing, then have a seat. But he's produced.
Yeah, but he's not bench worthy yet.
He's played great defense. It's just going overlooked, and I'm so sick and tired of it. Like, if the guy was a mutt defensively and he's not giving enough production, and I'm right with the run out of town. I'll run out with you. But he's played really hard these last 3 weeks.
And what did we
know with COVID this year? Like, so he wasn't himself for a month back, which we know is factual because we see it around the NBA that it takes guys to get a minute to get their legs back. One, you miss 2 or 3 weeks, right? Probably hard to do your cardio that you need to do, okay? And Seth said it last year. Dude, it took me like a month and a half to get my legs back under me. I got knocked out a little bit by it. So, like, that's fair to say. He dealt with the same thing earlier on this year.
And we talked about this 2 Mondays ago. If they don't do what they're supposed to do in the playoffs and it doesn't look like he's an integral piece, he will be gone. Like, it's not one of those things where, oh, my God, we're stuck with him for another 5 years.
I'm not trading him for Bradley Beal.
That doesn't work because Maxey, we said this on the phone, Tom. Maxey would have to be in that deal for the Wizards to take Tobias. And also with Bradley Beal, I'm not saying I'm not comparing him to Beal saying one's better than the other, but it literally does not work with Maxey here. Like, I'm not
Maxey over Bradley Beal. And that's just the way I stand with it. And people can disagree with me. I don't care. I'll take Tobias Harris over Bradley Beal because of fit, because of position. Now I'm too small, right? I go get Beal. I love Beal, but now I'm too small, right? I don't want to be small.
And I don't want to be that 4. Who's playing your 3?
Exactly.
Oh, yeah. And actually our defense, which is already putrid, it gets worse because then you're getting smaller.
See that up, tease. Good D, baby. Oh my God.
Ooh.
I ain't covering now because of this.
Yeah, they're not going to cover the 10 at all.
No, I'm not even talking about 10. I lied, bet 5.5. Sorry.
Oh, they might cover that.
2 hard free throws. Tom.
Take the free throws. He makes both of them. They miss
I do that nightly, Nate. I'll take the regular line and then like halftime or a point where I'm like, okay, and I'll go back in. You know what I'm saying? And I'll go make it up. Like I'm a big maker upper.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I'm not sure what they've been against the spread. I've bet more prop bets than I have this year than I have anything else.
There's one.
So
no,
yeah, you know what I mean? Like they missed a shot there, rebound. They might foul again. Yeah.
Tom, how are we so far behind?
Oh my God.
Yeah.
He really missed that.
So what you pushed at 5, right?
This is a mess.
Oh my God.
All right, win.
Play the song.
Okay. That's a push, right, Tom? Push?
I got
push.
Yeah. If
26, 126, 121.
No, I had 5.5.
Oh yeah.
Second free throw. Fucking Harden. The second free throw.
Yeah. That fucking hook, man. It gets you every time. It's amazing how close they get that shit.
Vegas is good.
Yeah, it's so amazing.
They're so good.
Yeah, man. It's terrible. All right, man. But that's my time, man. I got to get out of here.
See you, Nate.
I'll see y'all boys later.
Later,
Tom,
Nate.
Later.
You didn't listen to Money Pot today. You would have won yourself some money.
You know my stance, Nate. You don't want me to say it again. You can win me money, but, I always say I can lose my own.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, that's
no,
right. This is how this all started, right? This is how it all started.
You get a little too wild for me. There's like too much action, and I'm like, I don't have the time to put in all this. Like, can you keep it to 2 or 3? Where you know what I mean? where I don't feel like I'm on the app for 25 minutes.
Yeah, man. I hear you.
That's what I mean.
I'm trying to balance it, man. I'm trying to balance it. I do my regular picks, and then they just suck me in with the parlays, man. Because that's what people like them. People love them.
And then you call them scams. I love it. Then you're like,
yeah, they are fucking scams.
As you're loading up.
All right, fellas. I get with you boys.
Later, Nate.
Later, Nate. So listen, great show and damn good win. That's another road win to tally up here. And like we talked about, Tobias with 20, Joel with 30, Maxey with 21, Harden with 24, and ended up shooting better from the floor. I mean, he ended up being 7 for 18, right? His real struggle came from 3 where he was 1 for 6. So, in the paint and getting to the basket, he was solid tonight. And, 7 assists, 7 rebounds. That's what you want. Your big man had 10 boards. Tobias had 5 assists and 7 rebounds, right? Maxey had 7 assists. So your 2 guards combined for 14 assists tonight. I mean, this is a really productive win. Matisse had 2 steals. Maxey had a steal. Harden had a steal. Joel had 3 steals and 3 blocks tonight quietly, right? The best player in the league. So good way to start off your road trip. And you got 9-3 since the addition. So if you have a complaint tonight, I want to hear it.
Tom,
And go ahead.
I was going to say, Tom, real quick, you sure it's not 3-9? It's 9-3. You sure?
Yeah. Just to confirm.
Sure?
Just to confirm. And 27 bench points. Just to add that in.
I'm sure there'll be people that are complaining about that.
Okay, then he looked horrible, bro. I don't know what to tell you guys.
Harden looked awful. Stop lying. Okay, maybe you're watching another game.
Yikes.
He had 24 points on one leg. I think he had like 14, 15 points in the third quarter on one leg. But cool. Stay hot.
Stay gold, pony boy.
Hi, Don.
Jalen Rose. What up, Jalen?
Big game tomorrow, Don. Big game.
Ow!
It's crazy how Michigan shouldn't even have been in the tournament, and now they're in the Sweet 16.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
Yeah, I'm sure
St. Peter's and Michigan ruining lives by the day.
Ralphie, I'm sure you're absolutely
I'm
St. Peter's is
thrilled
enriching
to watch
lives.
Michigan tomorrow.
Ralphie, I'm sure your absolutely not biased at all opinion would agree with that take.
I hope fucking Villanova blows them out tomorrow.
Me too.
Boston needs to calm down, by the way.
Dude, they are on a massive run right now.
They have my attention.
It's disgusting.
Them in Brooklyn now that Kyrie can play. They have my attention.
It is disgusting.
Yeah, Kyrie was always going to be able to play.
I agree, Greg. That's why their Vegas line never moved.
Yep.
Sixers in a 3-way tie for the 2 seed with Milwaukee and Boston after tonight. Both a game and a half out from the 1 seed. Sixers winners of 2 in a row, 6-4 in their last 10. Solid.
Now, is it a back-to-back tonight for you guys, or you have an off day tomorrow?
No, Friday late night.
Gotcha. Okay.
So another big game against the Clippers, right? You want to go get that?
Yep.
I think and we're Sunday at 6. So, we'll have some post-game / live reactions for you on Sunday on Agree to Disagree as well. That's a big game. That's going to be a fun one to cover for us, for sure. But a real opportunity to go 3-0 on this trip and really, really prove, like Nate was talking about earlier, how many times they've won 3 games in a row on the road. It's amazing. So if you have concerns about this team, that shows you their toughness right there. Right? I mean, I know everybody wants to hate on Doc or Glenn all the time. Fine. But there's something to be said about your team and being great on the road. There's something to be said about the chemistry there. There's something to be said about the coaching there too. But if you guys don't understand this, go around and circle the block and name me all the great coaches in the NBA. I'm going to tell you this. Players win championships. I've been yelling about this when Brett Brown was here. Players win chips. Okay? Do you think Mike Budenholzer or whatever the hell he is from Milwaukee is this great genius? Because if you do, I'm going to tell you that, again, go punch yourself square in the face. Or did he have the best player in the league last year? An unstoppable force in Giannis.
For about 5 years, Steve Kerr had probably the easiest job in the world. Standing on the sideline and collect $10 million.
The entire Milwaukee fan base wanted Budenholzer fired about 90 different times the last 3 seasons.
And
especially after their second round exit. Yeah.
Halfway through Game 7 against the Nets, Buck's Twitter was fire Budenholzer. I'll never forget that. I have a screenshot somewhere. The number one trend on Twitter halfway through Game 7, which they won against the Nets, was fire Budenholzer. It tells you all you need to know.
Job is in the NBA is to create a culture. It's to get guys to buy in.
Yeah.
And that's the biggest job of an NBA coach in 2022. Like, am I saying Phil Jackson wasn't a great coach? No. But you had MJ and Scotty, and then you got to have Kobe and Shaq.
A little easier.
Not taking anything away from you. You know, Pop is the definition of greatness, too, because he's won with different things. Okay?
Too.
But at this point, he's not a great coach anymore because, one, he doesn't have the talent to be great. See? Like, you think Pop can't coach because his team's not playing well? No,
it's because his best player by far is friggin' it's
Dejounte Murray.
Yeah, thank you,
DeJounte.
See, I couldn't even think of his friggin' name. That should tell you all you need to know.
But Tom, you're right. I mean, Spoelstra's another one of those guys, right? You know what I mean? It's
he won.
And if you look at the college game too, like just to relay kind of, you look at the Bill Selfs, the Mike Krzyzewskis, the whatever, but probably the best pure coach in basketball is probably Jay Williams or Jay Wright, just because of what he gets out of his guys.
He builds a culture.
He builds cultures,
and it's not like he's landing like these 5-star freak athletes. You know what I mean?
You got to get into Villanova and pay that money, right? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So you're only getting a certain type of athlete. But no, you're absolutely right.
Piper, what I would say, because he says, as a Nets fan, we're out of the three teams of the top teams, we're the team he wants to play the most. Piper, what I would say is, yeah, of course, if I blew you out by 40 points a few weeks ago, I'd probably be saying the same thing.
Licking my chops.
Yeah, I'd be saying the same thing. So I get it.
Piper, I'm just going to tell you, that's cute. Be careful what you wish for. Just be careful what you wish for. I'm not worried about that game. I don't give a fuck. I'll go to Brooklyn tomorrow. I don't care. I've made this clear. I ain't scared of nobody. Everybody has their flaws. Every team has their flaws. If our bench can give you 20 a night, we beat everybody. Everybody. Are we sweeping series? No, I'm not saying that. Like, they're going to be dog fights, man. Every team you're going to play in the Eastern Conference is going to be a dog fight. Just to let you know. Just to let everybody know. It ain't going to be easy. But I believe in this group. I don't know if anybody can score at the rate they can score at if they're going. I don't know who can. I don't know who can keep up with it. Who? Who has the scoring they have?
Well, Brooklyn does with KD and Kyrie.
I was going to say, sorry, Tom, but the Nets.
Okay, you're named two guys. I can name two guys who can match their production. So then who else?
What do you mean
I just said two guys.
Yeah, I mean, Durant
can give you 20 a night. So you're talking about four guys that can give you 20 a night. And one guy's going to give you 30. So who else on them outside of KD and Kyrie do we expect to be in those numbers?
I think Curry's going to give you.
I'm not 20 a night.
I'm not saying 20. I'm not saying.
Yeah,
but
that's right. That's what I'm hitting.
Who has Durant and Kyrie might give you 40 instead of 20. So we're not just talking 20. We're talking about 40.
They're both not giving you 40 though.
But we're also not always going to have four guys at 20 a clip.
I'm not saying we will, and they're also not going to have nights where this is what I'm trying to make the point at. If our best two have off nights, we have backup. We have the backup ability to get production from two other guys. Sure. Nobody has that. That's my point. Nobody has the firepower to have the backup. Right? We almost have like a backup, like, okay, Tyrese can go for 25. You know what I mean, right? They don't have that. Like, okay, Seth maybe, but we watch Seth enough here. Like, Seth is really good.
He's
really
a
good
role player. Yeah,
he is what he is. And do they have good role players in Brooklyn? Yeah. I'm not shitting on what Kyrie and KD can do. Nobody's running from that. I'm saying that if one of those two have off nights, who's picking up the slack in Brooklyn?
No, that's true. That's true.
If he has an off night, Tyrese can go for 25, right? Tobias can go for 22. I'm not saying, Greg, that we're going to constantly have four guys.
No, I hear you. I'm just saying the last time we played the Nets, everybody had an off night and it wasn't good.
Yeah.
That's one. I hear you. That's one.
You know what I mean?
I understand.
Kyrie's probably the most rested guy in the NBA right now, too. Well,
Like,
he is. He's not probably. He is.
I just don't know who has the firepower overall to be able to walk into the production we can walk into nightly.
No,
if Milwaukee goes 3 deep.
3, not 4, but
Milwaukee,
3. You're right.
Milwaukee's going to have to beat you in a lower scoring game. You know what I'm saying? They're not going to put up 130 on you. Same thing with Miami. They're going to just have to smother us, and we're going to have to come down to their level. I'm not going to say down to their level because Milwaukee obviously won a title, but I'm just talking scoring wise. You know what I'm saying? Because you're right. Like when you look at the scoring capabilities in the ceiling, it's hard in any conference, not just the East, to match up against what Joel, Harden, Tobias, obviously Maxey, and then Niang coming off the bench. You know, that's really, really good. I just look at again, I don't know what a 7-game series would look like if it's Nets Sixers. But like I understand what you're saying, Tom, but it's like there's some bad men over there.
And there's the baddest man on the planet over here.
True.
Like, dude, they both went off. This is what I'm going to say to you guys, okay? And it's the NBA. It's a regular season, okay? Durant had 35 tonight, had 28 fucking shots, okay? 28 shots. Kyrie had 27 shots. They lose 132 to 120. Like, that's my point. They both went for essentially 40. They both went for 40, essentially. Mm-hmm. And they lose 132 to 120?
Without Morant, too. Without Morant.
Yeah, they don't have enough firepower outside of that. Okay, cool. You got 80 points there. All right. And you ended up with 120. But you obviously played no defense. So you had 2 guys that volume shot you for 12 for 28. 12 for 28. Real life, 15 for 27, which is actually a really good shooting performance by Kyrie. Right? But 12 for 28 is like, okay, KD, you want to shoot me out of this one? 1 for 7 for 3. This has been my point about when I talk about Joel Embiid. All right? Name the night when he has an off night, right? He's still not shooting you out of games.
No, he still has like 26, 8, and 10.
And it's the line, it's the different things like that. Listen, are the Nets good? Absolutely. Is Milwaukee good? Absolutely. Is Miami tough? Absolutely. Right? Is Boston playing out of their minds and a really good basketball team? Absolutely. But why would I sit here the way I played on the road with the best player in the league? Why would I sit around and be scared of somebody? That's my point. I'm just not scared. And I'm saying that we have deeper firepower than all these teams do. You think the Nets don't have a bench issue? You guys really think that? They had 11 points tonight from their bench. So you think they never run into bench issues?
Well, I like their bench more than us. And they also didn't have. Okay,
I'm going to hit you with it. What do you like more than us? Fucking Patty Mills. He's had a really bad year, essentially.
So he's had a bad second. He's had a bad second half because he's had to adjust his role. He was the main.
I know, but I'm asking you who else? Like Patty Mills and
Dragic. I like Claxton better than our backup center.
Claxton played 20 minutes tonight. Okay, 20 minutes.
Yeah, I'm sure he had a bad night. I'm
not saying he did. I'm just giving you the production. He played 20 minutes tonight. He was 2 for 2, 7 points, 5 rebounds. It's like the same. It's like the same. Like, you know what I mean? It's nothing like, I mean, that's a lot of minutes essentially for a bench guy, and he's fine. But like,
I'm not crowning. I'm not saying they have the best bench ever. I think Miami has a way better bench than both of them. But if we're comparing, again, just to me, if we're comparing Danny, Shake, Niang, Furk, DeAndre, right? If that's our 5, if we're even going 5 deep in the playoffs with our bench, I trust Dragic. I trust Patty Mills more. Bruce Brown, I don't think would be coming off the bench. I think he's still. It's weird because now you actually got to look at both of them. But again, it's not because they're great. It's because I don't know what Furkan and Shake are right now because they've been so up and down. And Danny's been so.
You can't know what somebody is when they're buried on the bench and they're not playing or they're getting 3 minutes a game.
Well, why weren't they playing, though? It's because one was shooting 22% from 3. The other one's been hurt for 95% of the season. So I don't even consider it buried. One hasn't been healthy. The other one can't be played.
Listen, I'm not telling you that. I'm just saying our bench essentially matches up to all these other benches in the Eastern Conference outside of Miami. Like they just do.
That's fair.
I'm not like saying like, oh, we're head and shoulders better. No, I'm saying like it's almost like even if you really look at it, like okay, they have Mills off the bench, we have Niang off our bench, right? You know, so it's like it almost evens out. Okay, Gordon, listen, I'm gonna give him the nod over Shake, but Patty's had a bad year. So Shake's had sort of a bad year. It almost evens itself out where it's like, okay, you're going to win by your starters, right? You're going to win by your star production and who can carry you. And then can somebody on your bench get hot in a game 5 and help you win a basketball game, right, guys? So it's like none of these, all my point is none of these top loaded teams have these great deep benches like we're clamoring for. They have guys that are like, okay, I like Patty, right? Like,
you're absolutely right. We just see our bench come up small so many times that we're just obviously super concerned about it and almost like, super protective of it. You know what I mean? Or whatnot, right? Protect is not the word.
Definitely
self-conscious about it, right?
And definitely in that series too, if Ben doesn't play, if it is Sixers Nets in the first round,
he's not gonna play.
It's definitely gonna be, the tale of the two superstars for both teams, right? And once two superstars are gonna help both, their teams get to the next round. Is it gonna be James Harden and Embiid, or is it gonna be Kyrie and Durant? So I think like you guys were going down the list with the bench, it kind of like equals out in some ways that you guys were saying.
Tom, to your point, and what I do completely agree with, and so I don't want to get it twisted to anybody in the chat. If any of these series for these, respective teams, if the Nets are leaning on friggin' Claxton and Bruce Brown, they're in trouble because that means something happens to their big stars. If we're relying on Korkmaz and Danny Green, we're in trouble. If the Bucks are relying on, Jordan Nora, they're in trouble. You know what I'm saying? If the Heat are relying on Max Strus, then they're in trouble. So it's all about, and again, the thing with Miami too is their bench is so good statistically. It's because they really have a starter coming off of their bench, and that's that's the biggest needle mover. It's not Butler, it's not Bam, it's not Kyle Lowry who complains and barely plays. It's not Oladipo, it's Tyler Hero who's going to be the dictator of if they win a series, go to the finals, or go one and done. It's him.
What did we talk about previously? Like we are going to win or not win based off of our 4 stars per se, right? Our 4 best players. So that's every team. And I'm going to take these 4 over a lot of 4 out there. So you tell me, we had this conversation in Eastern Conference, what 4 would you rather have? Like Chicago's? Maybe. Like you can make an argument for Chicago because they got 4 deep, right? But I'm taking our 4. I'm taking our 4. I just am over everybody. Like, it makes sense. Like, name of 4. Chicago's the only team that, like, essentially has 4.
And they haven't beaten a top 3 seeded team once this year. So they by default are out. They're gone from this conversation.
Yeah, I think they're like 0-13.
9. See, I thought it was just 0-9. It might be 0-13, Ralphie.
Yeah, it's something ridiculous. Yeah, but like what you're saying, right? They haven't beaten a top team yet that has been ahead of them.
Bill,
in the standings.
the Celtics are playing great, dude, but you have nobody that can stop Joel Embiid. And if you think you're due, you're misguided. So, I mean, that's why I'm saying I'm not scared of Boston. Because Tatum can easily shoot you out of a game as hot as and I know he's been scorching hot. And I love me some Jaylen Brown. And are the Celtics tough? Absolutely. Are they a damn good team? Absolutely. But we're talking about there's a lot of them. So for me to say, and the same thing for you, Bill, for you to say, hey, I'm not scared of nobody, rightfully so. And for me to say I'm not scared of nobody, rightfully so. That's the point. Because the East is very good. It's very good. You got a lot of talent. But and nobody tell me I'm not. If I'm walking around with the best player in the fucking league, who am I scared of? And if you want to say Joker's better, fine. Then I'll say the best player in the Eastern Conference. Who am I scared of? Who?
No, we've talked about this before. The only team that I right now, gun to head, would say where you would lose a 7-game series to is the team who had a parade, 11 months ago.
Mm-hmm. Okay, you said Milwaukee. All right.
Yeah, I think that's why. That's why, like, when
okay.
I think that's why I think we're an Eastern Conference.
I think we
finals
own
level team.
By the way, I feel like we own them. Like, I feel like we beat them in 7. But I hear what you're saying. Like,
and this goes
like the same thing too.
It's the same conversation we always have. My counter is who has somebody to stop Giannis, and your response is who has somebody. They don't have somebody to stop Embiid. Mm-hmm. Even though I think Lopez can stop him down. He can slow him down now that he's back. But I hear you.
Nobody in the league has the paint protection we have with Joel Embiid in terms of Giannis. Like, where we can make him have to stay outside a little bit.
No, the biggest, what's funny? This might sound stupid, but the most important person on, well, yeah, I'm not shocked people are saying that. the most important person in that series, aside from Giannis, or maybe even more than Giannis, just because, like you said, Tom, you need to force Giannis out of his comfort zone. It's honestly Chris Middleton. Because if Chris Middleton has one of those series where he kind of is a non-factor, that's why so many people wanted Middleton out of there for a couple years, we're in a great spot. Because Giannis then needs to carry. If Middleton's averaging like 26,
right, which
say it again,
like which he can. We're not saying he can't, right? We're not saying he can't, but like we match up good against them, and they match up good against us. To your point, like it really is like a really good matchup, and would be a 7-game dogfight of a series, and there's nothing wrong with that. And you're going to need things to go right, like they had things go right for them last year. But like I'm just going to keep running back to the way we play on the road is telling. It's
different.
telling.
It's different.
It's different. Like those road teams, the teams that can go beat you on the road, they're the difference makers. When you look at some of these other teams on the road, they're not nearly as good as us or as consistent with us. So we're talking about winning 3 games straight on the road a bunch of times this year. So you're going to go somewhere for 2 games.
And
by our track record, we're winning 2.
I agree, Joe.
And to that, you're absolutely right. I mean, road wins win series. That's just it.
Yeah, because
what have we never done in years past, boys?
We've never run on the road. We've never won on the road.
When you lose, when
last
a
year,
home team,
a little better, right, guys? Were we like a little bit better last year on the road? I don't know if anybody.
Because we stole a couple in Atlanta. It was the problem is we only won one home.
We won on the road, but we lost at home.
Regular season. Like
we were a little better, but not to this clip.
Everything, but to your point, Tom, everything was better than the year prior because that was the weird bubble year, and we were like historically bad on the road. But even in the playoffs, Tom, which is the most important thing, the problem in the Atlanta series was that I think we stole 3 games, or no, I'm sorry, we stole 2 games in Atlanta. We only won 1 game, and that was game 2 in our home arena. That's what killed us. We lost game 1. Yep. We gave up the huge lead, I think, in game 5.
Yeah.
And then obviously you lay the egg in game 7.
Yep. Game 5 was in reality the series ender, right? You know what I mean? When you blow that lead at home, there's no coming back from that. I don't care how good you play on the road.
You guys were talking about road wins for the Sixers, right?
In the playoffs, yes. And regular season.
The playoffs.
Well, yeah, what do you got regular season? Yeah.
So 21, you guys were 20-16. That was for the 2021 season.
Okay.
And then in 19-20 season, you guys were 12-26 on the road.
Right. So that year, that 21 or last year, we were a little better than 500, which is what we wanted to, right? What do we always say, Tom?
And what's the common
80% at home, 500 on the road, right?
Yeah, and what's the common theme there, Greg? What's the difference maker from 2019 to 2020? For all the haters.
Tobias?
No.
Joel improvement?
No, I mean, listen, that's part of it.
That's a big one.
What's the other one? What's the one you got to lift the rock up and say, ooh?
There's actually 2. There's 2.
There's one big one.
I'm blanking then.
It's the hiring of Doc Rivers.
Thank you. Okay, so that was the one. I didn't think you were going there. So that's the one.
As much as I get it, like I get the flaws at times, right? Like I'm not. Again, this isn't calling him Greg Popovich, but you see what happens when you bring in like a real basketball guy, like you know what I mean, where that has accountability, that brings in a staff that has accountability, which we asked for, and then your road record starts going up. You start playing better on the road, right? There's something to be said there. And yes, is Joel a part of it? Of course, him getting better.
And our rosters were better than they've ever been too. I mean, but that all comes with to your point, it all comes with the expansion and the addition of what we were trying to get out of this.
Right? Because I'm not going to run from that either. Players win. But having guys who know what it takes to win on the road as a player, right? As a coach, I think it matters a little bit. And again, your players getting better and your team getting better also matters in that fact. But all these years, we were 50-win teams, and we stunk on the road. Remember that.
Right.
Like, we were still 50-win teams and stunk on the road. Real quick, I thought something was very interesting last night because I went down a rabbit hole, and I saw the interview with Draymond Green and Joel Embiid, okay? And if you guys got a chance to see it, if you haven't, wait till the show's over. But go watch it because it was really telling. And it really says a lot about Joe and his growth because he talked about like, hey, I didn't call him out by himself. Like the media spinned it where I called out Matisse missing the free throw. He said, I call out Matisse all the time this year to say, shoot the ball, Matisse. Be aggressive, Matisse. Right? I'm always calling out my guys because guess what? I want Matisse to be better. I want the Matisse to be the best player he can be because that makes our team better. Right? And he's saying that's all I was saying about Ben and the basket. And then he said, I called myself out in that presser after that and said how I turned the basketball over, in a big moment, down 4 to make it a 6-point game, right? And he said, dude, there's a laundry list of things he said why we lost that game 7, right? And I think that just one goes to tell you, like Ben's is a bitch, right? And this guy did nothing wrong. And I thought what Draymond said, because Joe's like, I just want to win. Like, I want to win a championship. I didn't get to that point, but like I always believed that me and Ben could do that. Like to this day, I would tell you that we could still do that together. Like we were winning 50 games a year together. Like we could play together. But guess what? The common theme was they were both too young.
He gave him a lot of credit too. He didn't have to do that. He gave Ben a lot of credit, being like, bro, it's not like I didn't want to play basketball with him. We were elite.
He said, I didn't know what happened, but he said,
yeah,
I call myself out. I'm always calling guys out, including myself. So like, that's what you want leaders to do. Hold themselves accountable and then hold other players accountable. There was nothing wrong with what he said. It got spun around, but that dude's a loser. Riaz, thank you so much for the super chat. Wouldn't ideally the Sixers and the Cavs in a 3-versus-6 matchup, or does the Bulls 4-versus-5 matchup better? Either one. I mean,
I'm fine with either.
It's actually funny because Joey was asking about he was saying, do we still want home court advantage, all that. And Tom, this goes,
you still do.
Oh, of course. Like I that's obvious. Like nobody's saying, "Oh my God, I want to fall to the 6th seed."
Yeah, let's lose out to the 6th
tank.
seed.
Let's pretend it's 2015 and tank, right? Like nobody's saying that, and Joey's not saying that either. But
no idea.
I was going to bring this up because Tom, this goes to your point from a couple hours ago that like everyone's so infatuated with the 1 seed or fighting for the 2 seed. Listen, if you end up with the 2 seed, 1 seed, I'm not going to complain. Like, oh my God, we were too good. Like whatever, but. Number one, we've been there and done that, and it proved that, hey, you're the number 1 seed by a great margin last year. It means nothing. It means nothing when it's all said and done. And 2, I'm not asking them to tank. I'm not asking them to sit people so they start losing. But if you end up in a 3 seed or a 4 seed, I'm not necessarily upset because because you look at situations where you're facing the Cavaliers, who I think we really face up well against. The Bulls, obviously, Embiid's 11-0 in his career, and we go back to how the Bulls haven't beaten anybody who's a top caliber team in the Eastern Conference. I would rather, again, I'll see who I see, right? But I would feel much more comfortable, especially in a first-round, series where I'm not trying to go 7 games in a first-round series when I know, okay, after the first round, you're going to the Heat, or the Bucks or the Nets. Like it's not going to get any easier after that unless something stupid happens and there's a major upset in another series.
Right.
So it's not a bad thing if we end up as the 3 seed. It's really not. It's really not. And I hear you like, okay, we want everything to come through our building. Well, everything came through our building in round 2 last year and we won 1 game. And we laid an egg in 2 of the other ones and then we blew a 28-point lead or whatever the hell that was in the other one.
Yeah, I don't think it matters. I want to be the highest seed possible because whatever. But I mean, you can win a championship from the 3 seed, the 2 seed, the 4 seed. Anything after that, I think your chances are slim, or a little harder. But if you're a top 3 seed, you can cut nets down. That's been proven.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? So that's what matters. You don't want to be anything less than a 3. Like a 4 makes it a little tougher on you because you're gonna run into somebody earlier than you want to.
Yeah, obviously, you're right. Obviously, the higher seed you are, the more controllables that you have, right? You can control more, potentially of not necessarily who's coming in, but the path that you take, right? But at the end of the day, as we just spent the last little bit going through, the top half of the East is a gauntlet, regardless of what path you take, right? You know what I mean? So if you got to start off with Chicago and then you face Brooklyn, then hey, you're gonna have to face Brooklyn anyway, to get to where you need to get to. So,
Ralphie, I'll go to you on this one. Don wants to know: are there any sleeper teams in the West? You know your Lakers?
Any sleeper teams?
Yeah, Denver.
Yeah, Denver. If they get Jamal back, they'll be pretty good.
Porter
projected to come back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Porter's not coming back anytime soon.
No,
right?
he's done. He's done.
He had a setback. Yeah.
Poor guy.
Yeah.
Another one. That contract's gonna be horrendous. Actually, I'll change that. It already is horrendous. It's weird.
You still got to take a shot at though.
The Mavericks.
You still got to take a shot though.
Who?
A guy like with that talent.
Oh yeah, no, I get why they had to sign.
Yeah, I mean, like you got to take a shot.
Yeah, no, I get it. I think
I would have traded 25 for him, even with the issues.
Yeah. No, I'm good. I'll deal with the.
I'm saying before. Obviously, maybe I'm not saying that, but
yeah, I wouldn't say that. I'll go with the Mavericks. I think the Mavericks could. It's weird saying that they're a dark horse because they have Luka on the team, but they're a team I actually thought was going to take a little bit of a step back because they're big. Ralphie, do you remember who their big offseason acquisition was this offseason for the Mavericks?
Trey Burke.
No, he was
there.
Yeah, but they extended him. That's where I thought maybe you were going.
No, they brought in somebody. It was like they were supposed to get DeMar and all these people, and they didn't get anybody. Their big acquisition was Reggie friggin' Bullock.
Oh yes.
He lit us up though that night.
They gave him the money.
That night we lost that lead. He definitely lit our ass up.
Say
I
that
think
again, Tom?
They don't have enough firepower. Like Luka and Brunson, and then it's like a big drop off. So they don't have enough firepower to win more than like a series or two. Like
I think Dinwiddie's going to be good there. I think Dinwiddie's going to be really good there.
Is he healthy?
Today he is.
Today he is. I don't know how they win more than 2 series. Like they need Luka to win them 3 series to like go to the NBA Finals, right? And I don't know, he's fucking special, but I don't know if he's winning in 3 series because when he also has his cold nights, which is what happens, right? He's phenomenal, and I definitely think he can steal you a series, right?
Yeah.
Can he steal you 2? I don't know yet. He's still so young, right? We talk about that. Like the age is a factor in this conversation. Like you have to hit a certain age to win. You just do, right? For most guys. So when he gets a little older, I think that's going to happen for him.
Especially.
Go ahead.
No, especially hypothetically doing it alone, right? I mean, it's just really a Luka show down there. It's Luka and a bunch of pieces. You know what I mean? Like,
I actually stand corrected. I'm not going to – it's actually not the Mavericks dark horse. It's the Clippers. If Paul George – I'm not even equating Kawhi Leonard. I don't even know his status. I don't think anybody knows his status because the guy doesn't talk. If Paul George comes back, now that they have Norman Powell and some of the other guys – I know Powell's gotten hurt and everything, but – if they can find any semblance of health in the postseason, I think that they can make some noise. I'm not saying win it all, but they can quickly make some noise.
And there's another team that is like down in the West, but could win a series, maybe 2. It's a big time sleeper, but just keep an eye on Minnesota. That's all. Yeah. Keep an eye on them. They lost tonight to the Suns, but I mean. They got some guys who can score. I don't know if they're winning it more than the series, but they could steal a series. Is my point. Like they're steal one from you.
Minnesota would gladly take a series though, Tom, because I think they've only gone to 1 playoff series in the
playoffs with Jimmy Butler.
Yeah, that was the last time, and I think they got swept. I think they got swept by like the Nuggets or something. Ralphie.
Yeah, I think they won like 1 game in the series. Yeah, but that was the last time they went. Was when Jimmy was there, and then the next offseason they traded him.
Joker's so good that they could steal some stuff. Utah's the interesting one, right? Out west, because who are they? Who are they come playoff time, right? And
it's been like that for like 3 years, 2 of them. They're just heavy power in the regular season, and then once the playoffs comes, they just fizzle out.
They fizzle out.
You know what one team could really make a run?
Who?
The Grizzlies could. I could see them at least make a little run.
Well, like steal a series, you mean?
Yeah.
They're too young.
Well, anytime you got a guy that can score, and people got to be a worry about, right?
They go to a Western Conference final. They're almost like the Atlanta Hawks, right? Like they could go to a Western Conference final, and then I think they run out of steam.
Yeah, they're just very young. You know what I mean?
They might have, and again,
it's like the Blazers of a couple years ago, right? It was it was Dame and a couple pieces, right? It's
when they went to the Western Conference Final.
It's Ja and a couple pieces. It's Luka and a couple pieces, right?
Yeah,
Ralphie. Sorry, real quick. How about this? There's one more, I know we're listing every team, but it's fun. AD comes back and he's actually healthy. They can steal a series from somebody.
Yeah, we could.
They could. I'm just saying. I'm not saying they're going to a Western Conference Final, but
no.
LeBron and AD, they played enough together that they have the chemistry, right?
Mm-hmm.
They could go steal one. If they go match up versus Memphis, they could go beat Memphis.
Yep.
You know what I mean? They could.
Yeah, that'd be a fun little series.
The West is a problem because as you get deeper,
it's such a cluster right now for the West.
You're there's no good matchup. Even with the Sixers, we talk about matchups. There's I'm not scared of nobody, but there's a lot of good teams in the East too that are okay.
Even with that, even talking about Russ, we were talking about earlier how bad Russ has been. Can you get 2 or 3 games out of him where he's not atrocious, right? You know what I mean? In the series,
he's going to put up his numbers. It really comes down to AD's health for that. But there's no matchups that are matchups made in heaven unless you get Chicago, who we own, or the Cavs, who we own.
And they're just too young.
And they're just young, right?
Yeah,
after that, it's dogfight city, baby. Yeah. It is. And I'm going to say it again. The Nets are very good.
Thanks, John. Appreciate you, brother.
Thank you, Johnny.
See you, John.
I'm not scared. I don't care about the one regular season game. I don't give a fuck. I don't care. I will go play them. I will go play them because I'm going to stand by that they don't have an answer for our best player. They did that night. Sure, he had the worst night he could have. Right? Everybody did. But that's our worst night. We're not going to have that night again. We're not, dude. There was so much that went into that outside of basketball and playing the game. And they got focused into that and whatever. And I know New York City's going to lift their mandate and Kyrie's going to play. Good. Because I want to beat you at your best. I want to beat teams at their best. I don't want to beat you without Kyrie. I want to go to Brooklyn and whoop your ass. All right? And if you're scared of the Nets, then go buy a dog. Because the Nets should, right? Just like the Nets shouldn't be scared of us. Okay? I'm not scared of them. Because we actually have somebody. We have 2 guys that can at least get hands in the face of KD. All right, and Matisse and the way Tobias play defense. Okay, they can at least make it tough for him. Who's making it tough for Joe? Drummond? I like Andre, but knock it off. Knock it off. Knock it off.
He's eaten Andre over his career. That's why it was so nice to finally team them up together, right?
Right, exactly.
For a little bit of time.
Boston,
great guard play again.
Great guard play again from Boston, right? They got great guard play. So do we, first off. What's the difference maker, guys? Who's their dominant big? Horford? Grow up. So that's what I'm trying to say to you. We have great guard play. Right? And Maxey and Harden. We get production nightly. So what's the difference maker from all them teams and us? We got the best big man in the game, which none of those teams have. And our fourth option just is going to walk into 15 nightly. And Tobias. So nobody has it. Nobody in the NBA has 4 outside, and not even the Warriors. They have 3. They have 3 guys that can like they can get production. Wiggins, Steph, and Clay. Draymond's not going to score, but you know what Draymond brings.
No, but he'll give you his 10 rebounds though, and his 8 assists.
Poole. Okay, like Jordan Poole. Like nobody has 4.
Yeah,
they have 3. So why can't we start talking about ourselves a little bit and talk ourselves up a little bit? We have 4 guys that can knock you out for 20. If one guy doesn't go for 20, one guy can go for 25, one guy can go for 15. And then you're walking into 30 a night from your big. Fuck y'all. Not you guys. Like the rest of the league. If it ain't now, then when is it? When is it? What easiest path? Get the fuck out of here, Bill. Get out of here. That's what losers say.
I just left it there.
Losers say, "Oh, I want the easy ones. I want to play." We thought we had an easy path last year. How'd that age, Mr. Easy Path, dude?
And the way that the top of the East is, it's not going to be easy for anybody.
There's no such thing as
the top. Once you get past in the first round, that can be a cakewalk. You're talking about the Cavs, who are a young up and coming team, the Bulls, who have 3-4 different options, as we talked about. We might match up better against them, but it's not going to be a cakewalk where we're sweeping it. But
Greg,
once you get past that, it's a dogfight.
There's no such thing because the Eastern Conference, I can't remember the last time it was this good. I can't remember the last time the Eastern Conference was better than the Western Conference because, Ralphie, you and I know that, you know this because you're obviously a Lakers guy. It's been kind of the Western Conference looking way, way down on the Eastern Conference.
Yep. Yeah, it's always used to be the best of the West. You know what I mean?
Like, really, like, I know the last hour I've been talking about how I really want to see Cleveland or Chicago just because of the matchup. But even then, I'm not walking around saying we're going to sweep them. Like, there's no matter who you face, whether it's the top of the seeding or somebody out of the playing game, it's going to be a quality team. Because even though I think that I would be very comfortable against Chicago, for example, I know DeMar is going to give them a game. It's just the way it is. I know that, listen, you're probably going to have a letdown game, and I know Garland's that guy, and he's young, but he's very good. They're probably going to give you a game. I know that the Celtics, the two guards, are probably going to give you a game or two if you face them. But and I know KD and Kyrie are going to make your life a living hell for probably 3 games. That's why I think that game, that series goes 7.
Yeah, bro. If anyone, they're going to have nights. They're going to have nights where one of them doesn't shoot well, right, and isn't on,
and it shoots them out of games because they have to be big volume guys.
They have to be big volume. So who else? Like that's my point. Like if one of those guys have an off night, they're fucked. If one of our guys have an off night, we have another guy who can come in and drop you 25. That's the difference.
Well, we look at that. We look at the infamous, March 10th Nets game, which everyone talks about like it was freaking Super Bowl 52, right? It's like it's got rent-free space living in everybody's head. What really killed us in that game, aside from us being really bad, and the two notable guys, is that Seth Curry was a monster. Okay, you had freaking James Johnson, who was a monster. Nicholas Claxton, who looked like he was 7-foot Michael Jordan. So, like we talked about with the Bucks series, how, Giannis is going to get his. What Middleton are you getting? Joey Trent said in the chat earlier, he's either going to put up 40 or he's going to put up 10. If you put up 10, you're probably winning the series in 5. If he puts up 40, you might lose the series in 5 because you already know what you're getting. So you know
what you're getting from Giannis and Drew.
Yes,
those are in.
Again, I'm not saying that the Seth Currys or the Andre Drummonds or the Bruce Browns or even the Patty Mills and Goran Dragic's are more important than Kyrie Irving and Kevin Durant because that would be stupid. Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving are far superior and far better players than those guys are. But again, and I don't want to quote like NBA on TNT, even though they do a very good job, but like one of the big thing I always hear from Shaq, and I agree with, he always talks about the others, right? It's about what you're going to get from a LeBron, an Embiid, a James Harden, well, maybe when he was in Houston, according to everybody. Guys like that, a Kevin Durant, a Kyrie. It's about, are you going to have a night where Bruce Brown has a big performance, where, Furkan goes crazy, where Tyrese Maxey goes crazy? You know what I'm saying? Where the others, the second, third options, or a big key guy off the bench goes nuts. Because those are the needle movers.
I'm going to say this, and then I'm going to bed.
Same, by the way.
You guys can just end this if you want for me. Bill, that's wrong. I mean, you said the reality is Sixers are everybody's first choice, and then you don't watch the Sixers. And like, I'm not disrespecting any team, but to say that the Sixers are everybody's first choice, get a clue. Family out there, thank you for joining us tonight. We really appreciate you all staying with us. Another good Sixers win. So continue to add on, and scared money don't make money. So if you're worried about, all these other teams, good. I mean, they should be worried about you. And if you haven't used our sign-up bonus promo, go to BetUS. They're our sponsor every Wednesday night. They've been a leading online sports book. They've been in the market for over 25 years. You can bet anywhere in the U.S. on everything. Use the link, pin right in our comment section over YouTube, and you get 125% sign-up bonus. We appreciate you. Make sure you do it. Make sure you hit the like, hit the fucking subscribe if you believe. If you believe, hit the like and subscribe right now. And I told you, we'll see who the next member is, but our next member gets a Bryce Harper jersey. So who's going to be our next member over on YouTube? Well, we'll stay tuned for that. For Frank Vespi, no longer with us. Nate Moss, no longer with us. No Eaton. took a nap and didn't wake up. Ryan Brodo, Greg Moakovic, Ralph Del Vecchio. I'm Tom Arnone. Everybody out there, we can't thank you enough, guys. You drive the fucking show. We love you all. Oh, man. And can't wait for Phillies baseball, too. It's going to be
going Saturday.
Oh, nice.
Going to the game Saturday.
Give us a little video report.
Yeah, definitely.
All right, we're out of here.